Hello.
Hello.
Oh, it's Matt.
How are
Travis,
you, man?
what's up, dude? Mark, what's up?
Hey, good day. How you doing?
Mark. How you doing, Mark?
Good.
What's up, Travis?
Hey, Mark. Hey, everybody. Matt.
Hello, Joe.
Hey,
Joe,
hey.
how you doing?
They're fine, thanks.
Jason,
Hope you
Deborah,
guys are
Brian, Alan, Justin.
nice to see you guys are all safe and sound and hanging in there. Great. Awesome. Yeah.
Hello? Hello? Yeah, I'm
Anybody
calling
there?
about a community board meeting.
So am I. Yes, I am. I'm calling about a community board
Yes,
meeting.
you are. Hello, you're on the right one. The host just hasn't joined us yet. It's
Okay.
James Ellis. He should be coming in. You're in the right place, so just sit tight.
Okay.
All
Okay.
right.
All right. Thanks.
All right. You're
Yes.
welcome. Yes.
Excuse me. I tried to type in the meeting link, and it said the meeting was canceled or over or something. That's not right. Is it going to be
Oh,
online also?
that's not right because you're on it now. It starts at 6:15 and it's just 6:15 now.
So is there I go to webex.com and then figure it out from there with these numbers, or?
Oh, let me ask you, are you calling in?
I'm calling in because I tried to go online and it said the meeting was
Okay, wait,
canceled. So I just,
let me pull it up on another device. Just sit tight for a minute.
sure.
Okay.
You're on mute, James.
Is James on yet? No.
Yeah, he just got on.
Oh, okay.
Just can't hear him.
Okay.
Yeah, I was chatting into a muted microphone.
Okay.
As we're all
James,
prone to do.
hi, James. This is Deb. How are you?
Good
Listen,
evening.
there's a caller on the line that is asking for some directions. He said that he tried to hit on the link and it said the meeting was over. So now that you're here, I'm going to turn it over to you.
Okay.
Maybe he
I'm
should
not
try.
sure what happened. The link that I clicked worked fine. So I'm not sure what the issue is. I'll put it again in the chat just so we have a updated link from the community board office.
Is the gentleman still on the line that was asking?
I'm here, but I'm on a phone, so I won't see the chat.
Okay,
Can you-
I actually joined the meeting. Hi, I'm from the district office via our calendar link. So there's nothing on our calendar that says this meeting is canceled. Sir, if you go to brooklyncb8.org, our official website, you click on the calendar. If you click on tonight's meeting, you will be brought into the meeting via your device.
Okay, brooklyncb8.org.
That's correct, yes.
Okay, go there. And I get to Community Board 8, and we're calendar. Count meetings, calendar up in the upper right.
Yes.
And here
Just
we
click
are.
on tonight's meeting.
I can just click on that.
Yeah,
And
click on the meeting header, and it'll open up the meeting notice for you, and then you'll be
Yep.
able to access the link directly from the meeting notice.
I'm on to open the downloaded WebEx Meetings app. Oh, I don't have the app. That's maybe the.
There should be a prompt for you to be able to join via your browser without having to download the app. Do you have that option?
Oh, I see. Yep, join from your browser. I can do that. Enter your information.
Yes, just type in your name and your email address. It's for attendance purposes only. It's not shared with anyone outside of the committee, aside the chair and the vice chair and the secretary if
Okay.
they're too different. And you will join the meeting, and you'll have the option for video should you so choose.
Okay.
Miss Neal?
I'm going to allow it, but turn it off. I can do that, right?
Yes. Mr. Bailey, did you have a question, sir?
It's not a question, it's a statement. If you're using the new MacBook Air with the M1 chip, WebEx app, and it's a known, will not work. So if you're using a
I
brand
see.
new computer,
Okay.
M1, it's never going to work because I bought a new M1 and now I find out again it doesn't work. Thank you.
Wow. Well, that's
Correct,
what
Mr.
happened.
Bailey. Apple products are notoriously not compatible with WebEx. All right.
Okay. Well,
Okay. Sorry. Excuse me. I don't want to interrupt here, but I'm gonna actually try to sign on another device. I'm calling from Secret 724 Nostrand. I'm gonna try to sign on another device.
because I got online here.
Well, it is.
Let me sign up. I'm
Excuse
gonna
me,
sign on another device.
Miss Neal, do you mind chatting the full room or muting the full room?
Not a problem. Give me 1 second.
Great. Thank you, Miss Neal, and thank you everybody for joining us tonight. My name is James Ellis. I am the chair for the Community Board 8 Liquor License and Sidewalk Cafe Review Committee. I'm also joined by Mr. Robert Witherwax, our vice chair, as well as our secretary of the board. And I'm happy to see some our committee members, as well as some community members and all the applicants that took the time out today to join us to review either their renewal or their petition for a new application in our district. I just want to make sure I know for the sake, there is a unidentified caller with a 347 ending in 39. Are you an applicant or guest?
He's on mute. Nate, you're on. I can hear you. It's Nate Dwyer. He's a co-owner of David Tacos.
Great. All right. Thank you. We just want to make sure we're acknowledging all those that we can. All right. So as I mentioned before, welcome tonight. We have a fairly robust agenda with a lot of renewals and a couple new applications. And just want to do a quick check-in to see who of our agenda items are present. So I'm going to ask for just an acknowledgement to your address. Looking for someone from 753 Nostrand. Is that Joe Bilella? All right, you're on mute, Joe. I think I just want to know that that's you.
Sorry about that.
All right.
I was on a call. I'm here, and Travis is here as well.
Wonderful. All right, and 409 Lincoln Place. 268 Kingston. 554 Vanderbilt.
Hmm.
626 Vanderbilt.
Here.
Great. Ms. Tyus, is there a reason we're sharing your screen?
No, I'll try to get rid of that. Julia, can you block my screen?
Unfortunately, I don't have that ability. If you hover at the top of your browser, it'll pull down the menu and you'll be able to stop sharing your screen that way. That little orange thing at the top, yes, and you just
Top right,
click
stop.
sharing.
That little red thing.
Hello.
Hi.
Yeah. Hi, I'm here for a renewal. You didn't read my name.
Right, because I hadn't finished yet because we got interrupted.
Fair enough. I thought you were done.
Oh, sorry. I was just letting the other technology wonderfulness happen.
Okay.
Okay, continuing on with 626 Vanderbilt. I heard 698 Nostrin.
Present.
Great. 724 Nostrin. I think Mr. Prasad had just mentioned he was going to try to call in. Did he make it back on? All right, but we do know that he was around. 353 Flatbush. Nobody yet from Flatbush. 271 Kingston. 634 Dean Street.
I'm here.
Great, thank you. 564 Grand Avenue.
I'm here.
Wonderful, thank you. 658 Nostrin. Mitch, that's you, right?
That's me.
Great. I think we got acknowledged that the 611 Bergen Street for a new application was also with us.
Yes, we're here.
Wonderful. And 627 Vanderbilt. Is there someone from 627 Vanderbilt? Is that Catherine?
There's two of us. There's two of the Catherines here. I think she's on mute.
She looks like she is. All right, great. I see. And then that's you as well, Mr. Skirty?
Yes.
Awesome.
Yes. Sorry,
Awesome.
we're here.
That's all right. You forgive us, we'll forgive you.
James, are they
Mr.
from
Williams.
627 and 629, or are those two different applicants?
I've got
Separate.
I'm sorry. What's referencing 629?
Gadfly Lounge LLC, new license at 629 Vanderbilt.
Yeah, that did not make our final agenda for today.
Oh, I'm looking at last
Gadfly, they weren't able to secure the lease for the space, so they officially withdrew their application.
My apologies. I was looking at last weekend's agenda.
Great. All right, Mr. Witherwax, does it, from quick appearance, does it look like we should call the roll for a quorum?
Yeah, I think we'll be successful if we do that.
Great.
Mr. Allison has been excused. So Mr. Bailey. Mr. Bailey, I know, is here. Ms. Branch Mohammed. Thank you. I know Ms. Branch Mohammed is here. Ms. Collins.
Present.
Thank you. Mr. Ellis.
Present.
Thank you. Ms. Gibbs.
Present.
Thank you. Mr. Hart. Mr. Puka. Thank you. Mr. Saunders. Thank you. Mr. Thurton.
Here.
Thank you. Ms. Tyus. Who was present. Mr. Vicconi. Ms. Weatherspoon. Mr. Witherwax present. Ms. Young.
Present.
Thank you. That's 11 out of 15. We have a quorum.
Great. All right, well, let's just jump right into it. We will start off with our renewal applications. So I will go in order their agenda is presented, and we'll start with 753 Nostrand Avenue. Let me just find the appropriate paperwork. I don't see paperwork.
Should have everything.
Is the representative from Two Saints? Can you come on?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Did you submit your paperwork over to the board office?
We did. Everything, of course, was through the mail. I did call today to confirm. I didn't get anybody, which was maybe I was calling too late.
Mr. Ellis,
Hi.
I do see the material and the links that was provided to us for Tuesday.
I'm sorry, Miss Young. I could barely hear you.
Oh, I'm sorry. Let me turn that. I said I do see the documents.
Oh, I see it now. It's the last
Okay.
document.
Okay.
Great. Sorry about that. All right.
Okay.
So, remind me who's here from from Two Saints?
Joe, Balella, Travis.
Travis here.
Shaver.
All right.
Okay.
Great. And then I have on the application, I have a James Petrie and a Michael Mattis.
Yes, that's correct. James Petrie is actually he's a little tied up in Georgia because his mother-in-law has stage 4 ovarian cancer.
Oh, man.
And Mike Mattis said, would we mind sitting in for them? So that's what we're doing.
All right. Are you in a position to make any representation and any adjustments on behalf of the applicant tonight?
Absolutely.
All right. Wonderful. And your name again was Joe Balella. All right.
Yep.
All right. So Mr. Balella is here representing an application for 753 Nostrin LLC, doing business as Two Saints.
And Travis Shaver. He runs the place.
Okay. Hi, Travis. Sorry.
How's it going?
It operates for 6 years as a restaurant and bar with a, that part's not selected. I'm assuming it's a full license with liquor, beer, wine, and cider?
Correct.
All right. With 10 tables and 40 seats, one bar with 16 seats for a maximum patron capacity of 77. Is that correct?
Correct.
So does that trigger your public assembly needs and all the requirements for public assembly over 74 people?
We haven't had a problem to date. I don't know. I mean, Travis, you want to weigh in there?
I believe so, yeah.
Okay, it's just a unique number. Usually the number is 74, and then it triggers public assembly, which requires more fire suppression systems and additional exits. So I just want to make sure you're...
Do you have this? Are you close by where the sign is? It says what the number is?
Not really, no.
All right. Well, I mean, that's kind of out of our purview technically, since it is a DOB issue and a fire department issue, but just making sure that you're in compliance with whatever's necessary to be operating at that manner. Hours of operation are 3 p.m. to 2 a.m. Sunday, 5 p.m. to 2 a.m. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and 3 p.m. to 2 a.m. on Saturday. Noise attenuation.
That's all normal business hours. That doesn't factor in anything because they ask for normal business hours. So
that's correct. We just want as presented because this is what gets submitted to the state for your operations.
Right.
All right. And then whatever the executive orders are currently is what everybody has to operate at based on other times. We just don't want you to limit yourself to COVID operating hours right now. And then that's what's on record at the state level when those executive orders are lifted and allow for full service as a legally allowed.
I'm glad we read it. I'm glad we read it correctly.
Noise attenuation measures include acoustic noise proofing compound. Outdoor service area includes a sidewalk cafe of 48 feet by 6 feet with 4 tables and 16 seats. Hours of operation for this outdoor space. Now, is that a permit? Is that a DCA permitted sidewalk space or is that a COVID space?
COVID. It's COVID.
So it's not a legal.
Yeah,
it's not
it's
a.
COVID.
So it's not a state. It's not a consumer affairs issued permit sidewalk cafe. It's just under executive orders.
Let me hold on a second.
Correct. Yeah.
I believe it's just COVID.
All right. I will say you have listed here your hours of operation till 2 a.m. in this public space, and that's not something that the board ever promotes or allows. So our hours of operation for outdoor spaces typically end at 11 p.m. And so I would want to just kind of acknowledge that those need to be scaled back for any operations, even moving forward after executive orders are lifted.
11 p.m., correct?
That's correct.
Okay, got it.
Understood. Yeah.
Okay. An additional, there's 2 sidewalk spaces. Is that the case? Or just the
There's
one?
the Nostrum side. Travis is the Nostrand side, and then also St. John's side, depending on how it's done or how have you been doing it?
Yep.
Mr. Chair,
4 feet distance
if
from the sidewalk on both sides, and yeah, but it wraps around the corner.
Okay. Mr. Weatherwax?
since neither one of these is a perpetually permitted space, I don't think we need to dwell on them as part of the application. I think, in fact, we should not include them as part of the application because that's not something that we want to carry over past COVID. If they want to do a DCA permitted space, that's a separate application. So I would say that any motion to support should include an element of striking those things from this application and any other application that includes them as part.
Great. Thank you for that clarity.
Thank you.
And I'm sorry. There was a comment in the chat from Miss Gail Branch Muhammad, I presume. This establishment is Two Saints. I think she was asking for clarity on who that was. All right, so moving ahead, as suggested, we will move forward with eliminating this from the application, but there is a sound system with 3 speakers. Live entertainment is offered. Has that been previously offered in the past?
Yes.
That's been Tuesday nights. Normally it's jazz night, right, with a small live combo or whatever, right?
Okay.
Not during COVID.
Right, of course. 8 employees, 1 security personnel, inclusive of a panic alarm, interior and exterior cameras, 3 residences in the premises, 0 left, right, and rear, and operational changes including open restaurants, outdoor, and sidewalk cafe seating under executive orders, and no other operational changes planned to be implemented in the next application. I did see a public notice posting a photograph, so that's great. At this point, I'll ask for any questions or comments from any community members around the renewal application presented. Looking in the chat, looking for raised hands, looking for any on-screen indicators. Don't see any. Any committee members have any questions or comments on this renewal application? Hi, Mr. Thurton, please go ahead.
Good day, Alan. Alan, are you looking to join the Western Bar and Restaurants Association?
Wait, this is Two Saints? Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
But there, no, it was Joe and Travis are here.
Oh, I apologize. Travis.
Sorry, but
I apologize, Travis.
Oh, am I? Yeah. And unfortunately,
Travis,
the meetings
let me
were
chime in there
days
real
when
quick, Travis. Travis, I'm Matt from the Ryerson as kind of a quasi board member of MBAR. Mark, I'm in touch with Travis pretty often about what's going on there. It's just been kind of a struggle with this, as you well know, us getting more organized and getting Travis more in the mix. So all those things are happening.
All right, very, very good, Travis. It's essential that you guys work together so we can get Nostrand Avenue going once this COVID and our streets open back up. Thank you.
Absolutely. I'm on the email, so thank you very much.
Okay.
Thank you, Mr. Thurton, and thank you, Ms. Shaver. And all right, any other questions or comments from committee members? Mr. Vicconi?
I realize that this is maybe not something that's easily done during COVID, but either now or in the future, would you be interested in participating in the workforce development program the Community Board Aid is doing with Restoration Plaza, where if you have positions that you're looking to hire, they will send you screened candidates who are people seeking employment from this part of Brooklyn.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think we want to do anything we can just to make it, the next hot spot in the area. Matt and Max, I have talked a lot about just different ideas of what we can do, and I'm hoping that when I can actually hire some people will be a little bit more involved, like hands-on. So,
right.
Yeah,
okay.
Absolutely.
All right, very good. Thank you.
Thank you, Gib. Mr. Saunders?
I'd just like to ask the police department if there's any issues or concerns with this location.
Who? Sorry?
I'd just like to ask the precinct if there's any issues or concerns with this location as all as well.
Oh, great. Is there someone from the precinct rep here on the call?
How you doing? This is Officer Vidal from the 7th Precinct.
Hi, hey there.
Hey.
How you doing? As far as Two Saints, I only see one noise complaint back in July 15th, 2020. There was also, I guess, an incident on November 8th, 2020, where the bartender was assaulted at the location. Other than that, that's all I have.
I think we had a discussion last meeting that I was present at about maybe being able to chip in and get a bigger camera situation for the corner of Nostrand and St. John's. I think that Mark and I discussed it for a short time. So whatever we can do to help continue that mission would be great, as far as I'm concerned.
Thank you, Joe, for following up on that. But they have installed some additional cameras on Nostrand Avenue, so it's a continuous effort that we're doing. So hopefully we'll be able to get down one at your location, which is in St. John's, correct?
St. John and Nostrand, we have 16 cameras currently, but it's just, and I guess the folks at the 77th precinct do stop by not on a regular basis, but on occasion to ask for footage. I just think that if we had a more permanent situation on the corner of Nostrand and St. John's, it would help the whole community out. And we're happy to help pitch in for that as well.
Great. Sounds like a future conversation, Mr. Thurton, with the Public Safety Committee.
That would be wonderful. Thank you.
All right. Any other questions from community board members? All right. If
I make a motion that we support the application.
An amendment, Mr. Bailey, with the removal of the outdoor space as indicated?
Yes.
I second that motion, Tamika Gibbs.
All right. We have a motion by Mr. Bailey to support the application with striking the outdoor space currently being allowed by executive order. Second by Ms. Can we have everybody mute, please? Second by Mr. Tamika Gibbs. All right. Any questions on the motion? Trying to check everybody and everywhere. No indicators. All right, Mr. Witherwax, I'll have you call the vote, please.
Great. Mr. Bailey.
Yes.
Ms. Branch Mohammed.
Yes.
Ms. Collins.
Yes.
Mr. Ellis.
Yes.
Ms. Gibbs.
Yes.
Mr. Hart.
Yes.
Mr. Puka.
Yes.
Thank you. Mr. Saunders. Thank you. Mr. Thurton.
Yes.
Thank you. Ms. Tyus.
Yes.
Thank you. Mr. Facconi.
Yes.
Thank you. Ms. Weatherspoon. Thank you. Mr. Witherwax, yes. Ms. Young.
Yes.
Thank you. The motion passes 14 in favor. No opposition, no abstentions.
Great. Thank you, Mr. Witherwax. Thank you, gentlemen, for coming and
Thank you.
presenting your renewal. And just as a reminder, and I'll ask the district office, we have our full board meeting, which this will be presented on Thursday, let me just pull up my calendar. Sorry, I wasn't ready for this. Thursday the 11th, again by WebEx. We ask that an applicant representative be there in case there's any further questions from the full community board. The WebEx link can be obtained from the board office. So thank you again.
Thank you, guys.
All right, next item, 409 Lincoln Place. Is there someone here from Lincoln Station? All right, how about 268 Kingston?
That would be me, Alan Glenn.
Alan?
Yes. Yeah.
Sorry, I'm trying to find you. Oh, there you are. Okay, great. Alan, you're representing Basil?
Yes.
All right, let me just pull up the application so I can review this in real time. And what is your relationship to the application? I see different names as principals.
I'm general manager and representing Daniel Branover and Clara Perez.
All right, so Mr. Alan Glenn is here representing Basil LLC, doing business as Basil Pizza and Wine Bar at 268 Kingston.
I heard you mention a 271 Kingston Avenue. I mean, that's not an address that I'm affiliated with, but it's right next to me. I'm wondering if
That's the beef and bun, right?
Oh, okay. Okay, so never mind. Yeah, just wanted to make sure that it wasn't.
They didn't send any paperwork, so I don't know.
Okay. Yeah, no. I just wanted to make sure that it wasn't part of my application.
All right. So, been in business for 12 years as a restaurant bar with a wine, beer, and cider license. 27 tables with 78 seats, one bar with 6 seats for a total capacity of 85. Again, just reminding you that 74 triggers public assembly permits and making sure that you have all the compliance in order there.
Yes.
Hours of operation are Sunday, 9 a.m. to midnight, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, 9 a.m. to midnight, Friday, 9 a.m. to 2 p.m., and Saturday, 8 p.m. to midnight. Light background music. Outdoor service area includes a Sidewalk cafe of 28 feet by 8 feet with 5 tables and 19 seats. Maximum patron capacity in the outdoor space is 25. Hours of operation are till 11 p.m. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, till 2 p.m. Friday, and 11 p.m. on Saturday. You don't have speakers on that Sidewalk cafe, do you?
We do.
So I don't believe we've ever permitted any outdoor speakers before. So that's not something that we typically approve. And so I saw that in your application, you have light background music for the outdoor space.
Sure.
We would like to see that cease just to make sure there's no opportunity for any community complaints.
Not a problem.
All right.
We don't have it on, so.
I appreciate that. And just have to, we try to make sure that we're consistent.
Sure.
Other music speakers include 4 in the dining room, 4 in the private dining room, and then the Sidewalk ones. And we ask for those. No live entertainment is offered. 16 employees, no security personnel, 6 residences in the building. It wasn't indicated how many on the left, right, and rear in your application. It was left blank. And no operational changes or any plans for operational changes other than COVID procedures. Alan, did you have, and I don't see it, let me double check. I'm looking back. Do you have your public notice documentation?
Yeah, like the renewal. Yes.
The postings on the doors and windows of neighbor businesses?
Yeah, you'd like me to send it to you?
Can you send any the documentation showing that you posted that to the board office, please, so we have it on file?
Yes, not a problem.
Thank you very much. All right, at this point, I'll open it up to any other questions or comments from community members. I'm looking, so bear with me. I don't see any hands. I don't see any indications. Any questions or comments from any of our committee members? Hearing or seeing no indications of questions.
Mr. Ellis?
In the chat. Yes, Mr. Witherix.
Just for the record, the license did expire at the end of February, but I don't know how we want to deal with that.
I've been in touch with the state and the community board about it. I received a
They received a 30-day waiver.
I'm not currently serving any liquor. They're hopefully sending it back this week, so I'm not serving any liquor currently.
Yeah, thanks for flagging, Mr. Witherix. I forgot to mention there was a 30-day waiver requested. And just for the full understanding of all members and all present attendees, the community board allows for 1 waiver if they miss a deadline for their renewal. And that's allowed 1 per lifetime of the business. And it's a mechanism by which they're avoiding, some penalties and fines for missing a deadline. So they get 1, and this is their 1. So no longer an opportunity. So you'll be on top of that in the future, I'm sure.
The renewal was sent to us or gotten to my desk extremely late, but yeah.
Yeah.
It happens.
All right. I don't see any other questions. Oh, wait, Mr. Vicconi.
Question.
Sorry, Mr. Vicconi, then Mr. Weatherspoon, then Mr. Thurton.
My question is the same one about participation in the CBA Workforce Development Program. Are you interested in participating in that program?
I was actually going to message you privately after this. I'm very interested. I'm looking to hire people pretty immediately. So if you guys could be of help in that way, we would be greatly appreciative.
Excellent. Thank you. Thank you for
Okay, and
keeping on top of that.
your application lists Mr. Branover and Ms. Perez as contacts. Are they the people?
Yeah, yeah, they're the owners, but I can, they're just not the.
Okay, if there's somebody else that restoration should be in contact with, you can message me with the contact information.
Sure, that would be me. Yep, not a problem.
Okay, thank you.
Ms. Weatherspoon?
Yes, thank you. I just want to bring back to memory that in 2019, it was a stipulation made that the speakers had to be removed because music was playing on the sidewalk.
Mm-hmm.
So I just want that to be known for those who can hear me. So even when it was supposed to be removed, music still played after that. So I just want to mention that.
I was unaware of that. I can have them. I can have them removed. I didn't know that was a stipulation, but I can definitely make that happen.
All right. Thank you, Ms. Weatherspoon, for bringing that to our attention. And Alan, I do hope you'll follow up on that and remedy that situation, since it's not been in compliance since the last renewal.
Absolutely.
The next question, Claire, there's a question in the chat, and yes, according to the paperwork that we received in the Dropbox, Ms. Perez is still listed as an owner.
She is not affiliated with Basil anymore. She has not been affiliated with Basil since very likely mid 2019, if not prior to. Sir, please double check your records and speak with Mr. Branover to get us updated and valid paperwork.
I'm aware of that. I wanted to, on the paperwork, just wanted to be consistent with what we were providing to the state, because it takes some time for the authorization to move people on or off the license. We are working with that with a legal representative to make sure that it goes smoothly. But I am aware of that, and she will be removed from the license going forward, and removed from all applications going forward as well.
Was she an applicant for the 30-day waiver?
She was not an applicant for the 30-day waiver.
I would hope not.
Okay, so Mr. Glenn, I think what I'm hearing from the board office is the request for updated application to remove all that information as requested. So if you can get that to the board office imminently, that'd be great. I believe I still had another question from Mr. Thurton.
Yes, do we have any
I don't have any complaints and so forth. No, I want complaints for this location for this year.
Thank you, sir. All right. Looking for any other hands or questions, comments. Looking through. Don't see any indicators. Seeing no indicators, I will ask for a motion from our committee.
I make a motion that we support the application and they remove the.
Sorry, you stopped on us, Mr. Bailey. You want to finish that thought? Mr. Bailey? Uh-oh, we might have lost him. You're now muted, Wayne.
Oh, this again, having problems with the application, the web application.
All right, so can you just restate your motion, please?
Yes, I make a motion that we support the application. You are adding the amendment still? Yes.
With the removal of any
outdoor speakers.
Right. Okay. So a motion by Mr. Bailey is made to support the application with the amendment to remove outdoor sound system. Is there a second to the motion?
Second.
Mr. Mr. Vicconi has seconded the motion. Any questions to the motion?
Yes, Janet Collins has one.
Hi, Ms. Collins, please proceed.
Hi. Yes, didn't we also say that the application has to be updated?
That's
The
correct.
the names of the people who should not be on there?
Yep, thank you, Ms. Collins. We can add that as part of the motion if I'll defer to Mr. Witherwax if that's necessary on procedure.
It's fine with Mr. Bailey and Mr. Vicconi.
Fine with me.
Fine with me.
Great, thank you, and thank you for keeping on top of us, Ms. Collins. Okay, the motion is again made by Mr. Bailey and seconded by Mr. Vicconi to support the application with the removal of outdoor sound system and the follow through of updated application paperwork to reflect current ownership as it is today.
Can I ask the motion makers if they have a time limit on when the sound system should be removed?
Immediately.
As in, like, by we vote next Thursday?
By the board meeting.
Agreed.
Thank you for that clarity, Mr. Witherwax. And everybody still clear on the motion?
When will the paperwork be corrected? This is Ethel Pius.
Within the next day or so, probably tomorrow.
Wonderful. Thank you, Mr. Glenn, and thank you for following up, Mr. Matthias. All right. Mr. Witherwax, why don't we call the votes?
All right, 268 Kingston, Wayne Bailey.
Mr. Bailey?
We'll come back around. Gail Branch Mohammed. Gail, did I hear your vote? Abstain?
Yes.
Yeah, I can hear you now. What's your vote?
Abstain.
Thank you. Janet Collins?
No.
Thank you. James Ellis?
Yes.
Thank you. Tamika Gibbs?
Abstain.
Thank you. Oliver Hart? Mr. Hart? We'll come back around. Mr. Puka? I'll come back. Mr. Saunders?
No.
Mr. Puka votes yes.
Mr. Puka votes yes. Thank you. Mr. Thurton?
Abstain.
Thank you. Ms. Tyus?
Abstain.
Thank you. Mr. Vicconi?
Yes.
Thank you. Ms. Witherspoon?
No.
Thank you. Mr. Witherwax, yes. Ms. Young? I didn't catch that. Abstain. Did I have Mr. Bailey? Can I have Mr. Bailey's vote?
Yes.
Thank you. I see it in the chat. And Mr. Hart? Mr. Hart, are you with us? Mr. Hart may have stepped away. In any case, the vote then is 5 in favor, 3 opposed, 5 abstentions. The motion fails.
Can you repeat that?
5 in favor, 3 opposed, 5 abstentions.
Did you get Mr. Ryan? Mr. Ryan's vote?
I did.
Okay.
I have 5 in favor, 3 opposed, and 5 abstentions. 3 opposed are Ms. Collins, Mr. Saunders, and Ms. Witherspoon. The 5 in favor are Mr. Bailey, Mr. Ellis, Mr. Puka, Mr. Vicconi, Mr. Witherwax. The 5 abstentions are Ms. Branch Mohammed, Ms. Gibbs, Mr. Thurton, Ms. Tyus, and Ms. Young. Well, we need to do something with this item.
Is someone who was abstaining from this vote or opposed to what was presented like to discuss their position and potentially make a motion to dispose of this item?
Mr. Ellis, this is Ethel Tias. I move that we table the item and ask the applicant to return
in April with corrected paperwork.
Okay, thank
I
you.
second that, if that's a motion. Because because when the question was asked, if Ms. Perez was still a part of the organization, the answer was yes, only to come to find out that she's not. So I think the paperwork needs to be completed and corrected, or corrected and completed.
Thank you, Ms. Weatherspoon.
This is Gail, and again, I support that also, that needs to be done. And the other issue for my abstention is that they said that they were told before, Ms. Witherspoon noted that the issue with music had been brought up before and that continued to play. They continued to play outdoor music.
Okay. Mr. Witherwax, is the motion to table a voting motion that we need to dispose of? I'm seeing Mr. Piccone nod his head. It seems like
I think we should, because they are on a clock. And if the majority of the board doesn't want to table it, I think that's something we could have on the record.
Mr. Witherwax is correct, because a letter needs to go to the state authority to apprise them of the decision. Thank you.
Shall I call the roll?
Please do. The motion is to table for further
Motion to
paperwork.
table till April. Mr. Bailey,
No.
Ms. Branch Mohammed,
Yes.
Ms. Collins,
Yes.
Mr. Ellis,
Yes.
Ms. Gibbs,
Yes.
Mr. Hart, Mr. Puka, Mr. Saunders,
Yes.
Mr. Thurton. Thank you, Ms. Tyus.
Yes.
Thank you, Mr. Piccone.
Point of order, did this motion receive a second?
Yes, it did. I believe Ms. Branch Mohammed seconded it and Ms. Weatherspoon seconded it.
Okay, I vote yes.
Correct.
Ms. Weatherspoon,
Yes, and I actually seconded it after Ms. Tice.
Mr. Puka abstains, please.
thank you, Mr. Puka and Ms. Weatherspoon. I apologize. It took me a minute to remember, and all I could remember Ms. Branch Mohammed thirded it, so I gave you equal credit. Mr. Witherwax, yes. Ms. Young? Ms. Young? Thank you. The motion passes, 11 in favor, 1 opposed, 1 abstention.
Thank you, Mr. Witherwax. So looks like Mr. Glenn, we will want to see updated paperwork before we make any motions on this. And it looks like we will have you appear again in next April's committee meeting to move this along. So thank you. All right. Next item. 554 Vanderbilt.
Here.
Hi. Let me pull up your application. While I'm pulling that up, do you want to just announce who you are and your relationship to the application?
Yes, Cecilia Cataldo, and I'm a co-owner of Cataldo's Restaurant.
All right. Am I missing it from my colleagues on the committee? Did we get paperwork?
You have it there. I have the return letter with the certified mail. I have that.
Miss Ellis, we do not have the information sheet. I sent the representative an email on Friday as well as today asking for the paperwork.
The paperwork was, I have a.
No, not the 30-day notice to municipality, the information sheet that just has your hours of operation and, other details and specs, music, things like that.
Well, it's basically the same as last year. And
Right,
there's no
Ms.
change.
Cecilia, I'm going to interrupt regardless of if it's still the same, we still need some paperwork. So I need you to complete that paperwork.
Okay.
There is a link on the CB8 website. You want to click the renewal link, and that will have the opportunity to put in all the information.
Just now?
If you want to try to work on that now, we'll circle back to you so we can work off that and move forward, and that way you don't get held up.
Okay.
All right,
So-
thank you. We'll check back with you here towards the close of the meeting.
So how do I go about that? I'm sorry, I'm new to this whole thing
That's
here.
okay. I'll just ask that you download that paperwork, fill it out as you know, as completely as you can, and you can email me. I'll give you my email in the chat, and you can email it to me, and I'll read it off from there. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Ms. Cataldo, I'm sending you an email right now with the blank paperwork, and also if I can locate it within the next 2 minutes on my laptop while we telework, I will also send you a form from 2019.
Okay, thank you.
All right, and then in the chat to you directly, Miss Cecilia, I put my email that you can send it to me when you're finished. Thank you.
So
All right.
I could go out of this chat room and check the email?
Yeah, if you want to just come and log back on when you're ready. I mean, you're welcome to stay with us on the video chat, but if you want to focus on that paperwork, we want to just make sure that we have something to work with so we can present your renewal to the community.
Okay, thank you.
All right, thank you. Next item, 626 Vanderbilt. Representative here.
You hear me? It's Max.
Hi, I do hear you.
How are you?
See,
Hey,
oh, you on
James.
are you the 207 number?
Yeah. My computer is having a problem, so I dialed in.
That's okay. Let me just pull up your application. So Max is here representing 626 Van LLC, doing business as My Son Yaki. And Max, the applications read Greg and Michael as the principals.
They're just
for
the
the record.
largest stakeholders.
Yeah, just for the record, though, you're in a position to make any amendments or agreements today on behalf of those principals?
Yes.
All right, excellent. So operating since April of 2019 as a restaurant bar with a liquor, wine, beer, cider license with 10 tables and 36 seats, 2 bars with 20 seats. Maximum capacity 74. Hours of service are 11 a.m. to 1 a.m. 7 days a week. Inclusive, also ceiling soundproofing has been installed. An outdoor service area of a patio, 40 feet by 15 feet with 9 tables and 24 seats. Hours of operation in the outdoor space is ending at 11 p.m. Sunday through Thursday and midnight Friday, Saturday. Sorry, Mr. Shaver, yes, please. I think all work is complete on your end. I don't know if you already left us, but in case. Moving on, there is additional vestibule with a roof and experienced managers are on duty to manage any sound issues. Speakers include 4 dining room speakers at 15 watts, no live entertainment, 8 service employees, no security measures or personnel indicated, 2 residences within the building, 8 residents left, right, and rear. No operational changes indicated since the last renewal application. All right. Any questions or comments for Max on behalf of the renewal of My Son Yaki from our community members? Any questions from our committee members? And sorry, Max, do we have photos of your public notice?
I'm up in Maine. I didn't get a photo.
I'm sorry?
I'm up in Maine, and I didn't I can't snap a photo, and I didn't ask him for one.
Okay.
But we got the email on the 22nd, and that's when I sent it over to the managers.
Okay. Are you aware if they did make a public posting though?
Yeah, I believe yes.
I can attest. I walked by a week ago and saw it.
Okay, great. Thank you, Mr. Witherwax. Uh-oh. Is everything okay? All right. Yeah. All the videos just went out on my computer. Okay, great. So any questions, any other questions or comments? If not, I'll ask for a motion, please, from a committee member.
Motion to support the renewal of the license.
I have a motion by Mr. Vicconi.
Second.
And that second is
Saunders.
Mr. Saunders. Okay. Any questions on the motion? Motion is, I see a hand. No, I don't see a hand. All right. Seeing or hearing no questions on the motion, I'll ask Mr. Witherwax to call the vote, please.
Mr. Bailey. Get you in the chat. Ms. Branch Mohammed.
Yes.
Thank you. Ms. Collins.
Abstain.
Thank you. Mr. Ellis.
Yes.
Thank you. Ms. Gibbs.
Yes.
Thank you. Mr. Hart.
Yes.
Thank you. Mr. Puka. Mr. Saunders.
Yes.
Thank you. Mr. Thurton.
Yes.
Ms. Tyus.
Yes.
Thank you. Mr. Vicconi.
Yes.
Thank you. Ms. Weatherspoon.
Yes.
Thank you. Mr. Witherwax. Yes. Ms. Young.
Yes.
Can I hear Mr. Bailey? Mr. Bailey is a yes. Can I hear Mr. Puka?
Yes, please.
Thank you, Mr. Puka. The motion passes 13 in favor, 1 abstention.
Great. Thank you. And Max, thank
Thanks,
you for
everyone.
being in attendance. And we'll see you at the full board meeting on next Thursday.
Thank you very much. Thanks, everyone. Have a good night.
Thank you. All right. Next item is 698 Nostrum.
Yep, we're here.
Yep.
All right. Let me find your application. All right. So, who do we have here from the Ryerson? Sorry.
Matt Rudolph.
Okay, and I see on the application the principals is Mr. Ferrantino and Mr. Glogan.
Yeah, so I'm Max Glogel, and Larry Glogel, that's my father. He is on this meeting. He might be muted.
Okay,
Wait,
great.
can you hear me
Oh,
now?
hey. Yep, excellent. All right. All right, great. So the gentlemen are here representing the Benjamin Tavern Incorporated, doing business as the Ryerson at 698 Nostrand Avenue. Operation for just 1.5 years as a restaurant bar. The application, it doesn't indicate that you guys are a full service with liquor
Yes.
insider.
Yes.
All right, with 17 tables and 34 seats, 1 bar with 12 seats for a maximum capacity of 55. All right, sorry, I'm double tasking here. Hours of operation: Sunday 10 a.m. to 1 a.m., Monday 11 a.m., Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday is till 11 a.m. to 1 a.m. Friday is 11 a.m. to 2:30 a.m. and Saturday is 10 a.m. to 2:30 a.m. There is an outdoor space of a garden with 16 feet by 25 feet with 7 tables and 14 seats. No outdoor space. No outdoor bar service area there, but 25 capacity max there. Hours of operation are till 11 p.m. Sunday through Thursday and midnight Friday and Saturday. No additional outdoor space. Speakers include a back bar speaker system with 4 speakers at 30 watts. No live entertainment to be offered is indicated.
Correct.
Service employees is approximately 16. Security measures include cameras and host and hostess is required, as required. Sorry. 1 residence in the building, 2 the left, right, and rear. No operational changes indicated as part of moving forward. Attached to their paperwork are photographs of the posted renewal notification signs of this meeting, and so we thank you for that. With that, I will ask any community members if they have any questions or concerns of this application. Comments? All right. Any committee members with questions on the renewal of the Ryerson? I'm looking through. I see no indicators. Oh, Mr. Thurton?
Yeah. Max, thank you guys very much for being involved in Nostrand Avenue. bar associations and with the merchants association. You know, you're new on the block, but you're extremely active, and we really appreciate that. To work together. Continue the good work. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Mark.
Thank you, Mark. We're happy to be here.
For that comment, I'll go ahead and I was going to say Mr. Vicconi must be next. So, Mr. Vicconi, go ahead.
Just a question. The license renewal doesn't list what type of a license this is.
It's a liquor, wine, beer, and cider.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, sorry. I read it out loud and asked for clarity on that, but I didn't. Yeah, thank you. I imagine Mr. Vicconi, too, would also encourage participation in the Bed-Stuy Restoration Employment Program if you're interested.
Absolutely interested.
Great. I'll have him add you to the list to communicate with that.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right. Any other questions or comments from any community members, committee members? If not, I'll ask for a motion, please.
I motion to support.
I second.
Motion to support by Mr. Thurton, second by Ms. Mohammed. Any questions to the motion? Looking quickly, no indicators are seen or shown. I'll ask Mr. Witherrex to call the vote, please.
Mr. Bailey.
Yes.
Thank you. Ms. Branch Mohammed. Thank you. Ms. Collins.
Yes.
Thank you. Mr. Ellis.
Yes.
Thank you. Ms. Gibbs. Thank you. Mr. Hart.
Yes.
Thank you. Mr. Puka. Thank you. Mr. Saunders. Thank you. Mr. Thurton.
Yes.
Thank you. Ms. Tyus.
Yes.
Thank you. Mr. Vicconi.
Yes.
Thank you. Ms. Weatherspoon.
Yes.
Mr. Witherwax, yes. Ms. Young?
Yes.
Thank you. The motion passes 14 in favor unanimously.
Wonderful. Thank you very much. Matt and Max remind you the next meeting is the 11th. The link for the WebEx will be shared by the board office. We just ask that one representative be present to answer any questions from the full community. Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Thank you all. Have a great
Thank you.
Is Mr. Bilella still with us? So just for the benefit and for notes, Mr. Bilella from Two Saints direct messaged me in the chat and saying that he's confirming that his occupancy is 74 and not 77 as the application had indicated. All right, next. Mr. Prasad, 724 Nostrum. Hi there.
Hi.
All right, let me find your application and we'll get to work here.
There's 3 forms. So 6.
I'm finding it, looking for it. It's 724. There we go. Yep. All right. Mr. Rajesh Prasad is here representing 724 Nostrum Bar Corp., doing business as Secrets at 724 Nostrum Avenue, in business for 18 years and 3 months as a restaurant bar. Mr. Prasad, it's not indicated on your application what type of license requested. I'm assuming it's a liquor, wine, beer, and cider.
Correct. It's a full liquor.
All right, thank you. So indoor service area includes 56 tables with 172 seats, 1 bar with 18 seats, a maximum capacity of 207. Hours of operation are 10 a.m. to midnight on Sunday, 5 p.m. to midnight Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, 5 p.m. to 4 a.m. Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
Correct.
Noise attenuation area includes first floor soundproofing.
Correct.
No outdoor service area indicated.
No, I'm sorry. That's a mistake. It's the same as last year. As our last license. I wasn't familiar with the exact hours. I know there was a change we had to make with, I think it was Thursday or Friday. We had to be finished, I believe it was 10 p.m. I'm not sure, or 11 p.m. and I'm not sure. But there is an outdoor space.
Is that part of your license, outdoor space, or
Yes, it is.
or is that COVID outdoor space?
Oh, it's part of our life.
Okay. So I'm confused. Where is this outdoor space?
It's in our rear.
All right. Well, I
There's
need
a
you to
rear
indicate,
yard.
I need you to indicate on the application what that space looks like. So I'm going to ask that you update your paperwork.
Okay, I can do that. No problem. I'll do that now.
So
there
can you
now?
tell us about the outdoor space?
It's it's always been the same outdoor space. It's a rear yard. It's 40 feet wide, 50 feet long. It's covered by a tent that's 40 feet wide by 40 feet long.
How many tables? How many seats?
We have 16 benches and it's 8 tables.
Okay. And do you have speakers in that rear yard space?
Absolutely no speakers in the rear yard.
Thank you. We like to hear that. Okay. Moving along, their other sound system includes 4 speakers above the bar, 4 in the rear seating area, 2 in the front dining room. Live entertainment is offered. Staffing includes 17 service employees, 4 security personnel. Can you also, on your updated application, you'll tell us about what other security measures you are, or can you tell us that right now?
I can tell you, we have 16 cameras, 2 DVRs. We have 4 security guards.
Great. Well, yeah, these are the type of things we want to see on this application. So please fill that out completely.
I will.
Number of residents is 7 apartments located in the building, 6 units left, right, and rear. Operational changes that have been implemented since the last appearance is just a revamp of the menu for more variety of food, and no other operational changes indicated outside of COVID precautions, and none planned for the future. Attached to your paperwork is also your photograph evidence of the posting of this meeting and the public notice. So we thank you for that. All right. Any questions or comments from any of our community members or committee members?
Yes, I have a question.
Hi, Ms. Collins. Yes, please proceed.
Hi. Yes, for the owner. When was the last time you were open for business?
February before COVID. As soon as COVID started, we chose to close because it's very costly. And
So what, February 2020?
Yes, correct.
What was the date? What was the last date?
I can't tell you the exact date, but I know in February we decided that, it doesn't make sense to open. My dad was actually sick, and I was home taking care of my dad.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm going to check in with our representative from the 77th precinct. I know there hasn't been much in the way of operations for this establishment in the last year, but are there any other concerns or any flags for this address?
I don't have anything as of this year or last year as far as 311 complaints. Historically, it was a problematic location. As of the last 2 years, I see no complaints.
So you haven't seen any complaints in 2 years, is that correct?
Yeah, I don't see anything here for 2020 nor 2019.
All right, Mr. Prasad, can you just explain to us, since the last time we saw you, what measures you've taken to remedy some? Excuse me, 1 second. Just what measures can you share with us? What measures you've taken to help improve these situations that were an issue from the past?
Sure. I remember the last time when I came for the renewal, the votes were very close to me not getting the license. And because of that, we have been extremely careful with everything. We make sure that anybody comes in, we don't have any problems. We make sure we close early. And we basically keep the front clear. So we minimize the amount of people that we have coming in. I was actually scared. That's why I made sure we didn't have any issues.
Well, we're very encouraged to see the lack of flags being shared with us from the 77th precinct. So that's a good sign. So, all right, well, keep up that good work. I know that there was, looking in the chat, if memory serves, high capacity, frequent noise complaints and fights. So it looks like for the last 2 years, there have been no issues, bearing in mind that the last 1 year, there's been no operations happening at that establishment. So we are encouraged to see you continue the no complaints, Mr. Prasad. Any other questions or comments?
May I have your email address so I could send you? I just
all right, I'll send it to you again. Send it to you again in the chat.
Please.
Great, thank you. Any other questions pertaining to the renewal application for secrets?
Yes, Mr. Ellis, as I put in the chat, what's early for closing?
On standard hours, I mean, what it is that when there's no activity, we end up closing a little early. Sometimes we end up closing midnight. Sometimes we end up closing on Fridays and Saturday, we close 3 o'clock. It depends on if there's no one there, we end up closing early.
Great, thank you. Other comments or questions? Mr. Thurton.
Hi, good day. Are you going to participate with the Nostrum Bar Rest Station and the Merchants Association on Nostrum Avenue?
This is for employment, right? Because I do need
no, Mr. Prasad, no, this is a merchants organization. It's different from the employment program.
Oh, okay. Sure. Mark, you have my number, my email. Send me whatever info. And of course, you know, I'm willing to work with the community. I've been here for a long time.
Very good.
Great. Thank you.
And Gib, in reference to your employment, is there a website that you have in reference to that? Because we have some people that's interested. Is there some direction that you give to them, or it's just they have to go to the rest?
You know, the way that we've been doing this is capturing interest in these committee meetings, and then I give the information folks. But anyone else who's interested in participating can email the district office, and they will forward it to me, and I'll get it to the same place.
Excellent. Thank you very much.
If we can find a better way of doing it, I'll work on that too.
All right. Any other questions or comments? Mr. Thurton, I'm going to ask you just to lower your hand since you have that control. I can't do that for you. All right. I don't see any other questions or comments, so I'll ask for a motion, please.
This is Ethel Tyus. I make a motion that we support on condition that they close at 2 a.m.
I second that motion, Tamika Gibbs.
So, Ms. Tyus, you're asking them to close separate from what they were previously approved for?
I'm asking that they close at 2 a.m. on the weekends.
You need to be a
definitive closing time, because if that is the, I'm not saying that they can't close any earlier, that they have to stay open until 2.
My question of clarity to you is, you're asking for to change their operating hours from the previous approvals that they received.
Because of the size of the venue, yes.
Okay, and there's a second to the motion. Was Ms. Gibbs, is that correct?
That's correct, Mr. Ellis.
All right. And when you mean 2 a.m. on what days? Because so you want Thursday, Friday, Saturday, 2 a.m.? I need you to be more clear, please.
Friday, Saturday.
So you're allowing for 4 a.m. on Thursday?
Yes.
Mr. Ellis, maybe could you repeat what the current closing hours are?
The current closing hours are midnight, Sunday through Wednesday, and 4 a.m. Thursday, Friday, Saturday. According to Ms. Tyus, her motion is to reduce hours to 2 a.m. on Friday and Saturday, but maintain midnight, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and maintain 4 a.m. on Thursday. Any other questions on the motion? If so, if not, I'll have Mr. Witherwax call the vote.
All right. Mr. Bailey.
Excuse me, comment, this is Gail, comment rather than question. Don't we usually go back to the proprietor to ask him about accepting the 2 o'clock, the changes in time?
Sure, I guess we could.
I'm just saying, I
I
think
just, for my notes for when I do the action items next week, I just want to verify that the closing time of 2 a.m. is not on Thursday as well. Thursday will maintain the 4 a.m. closing. Did I hear that correctly?
I clarified that with Ms. Tyus, and that seems to be the situation she's presenting.
Okay, thank you.
All right. So, Mr. Prasad, it looks like that the current motion is to reduce hours on Friday, Saturday.
Every bar on Nostrand Avenue is open until 4. There's one right next door to me. They're open till 4. There's one another 4 feet away. They're open till 4. Why is it that I'm going to be singled out to close at 2?
What's the capacity of the comparative venues, of the venues that you're comparing to?
Next door might be maybe, I don't know, 45, 50. At the block away, it's like maybe 75. Next door to him is about 100, 125. At down the block, there's Cafe 400. That's a catering hall that holds about 400 people.
All right. I see a question from Mr. Hart.
Yeah, I'm not sure why we would, like, the applicant has shown good behavior, and I think we should reward that in a way that why would we curtail the hours if they realized that they were not in a good place and turned around their business. I don't think it's right to shorten the hours here.
Thank you for that comment, Mr. Hart. I support your line of questioning. I also believe that that's something that's, for a business that's been operating for over 14 years, to all of a sudden we propose to reduce their hours seems a little untimely. But the motion is made and seconded.
Sorry, Mr. Ellis, but it's not all of a sudden. There has been a hiatus, half of which was because of the current pandemic. It is a singularly large venue.
I hear you, but we don't have precedent for this, Ms. Tyus. That's why I'm questioning the motion, and I'm just sharing my opinion on it. The motion is made.
I'm sharing the reason why I put the motion on the floor, and it is on the floor with a second.
Can I ask you why?
Clarifying for you.
Ms. Tyus, excuse me.
I made the motion in the first place.
Excuse me.
I'm sorry, Mr. Ellis, if I can.
Ms. Tyus, this is my committee meeting. This is my committee meeting.
Yes, it is, and I am a committee member. Let's not get too loud here, okay?
Ms. Tyus, you're out of order.
Yes, Mr. Ellis. No, I'm not out of order. I'm pointing out that this venue, as the applicant has just recited, is twice as large as all of the other venues he's comparing it to. So people can vote this down or not.
Well, then, if we're going to question this, can you rationalize the 4 a.m. continuance on Thursday as opposed to Friday and Saturday?
I think that once people need to go to work on Friday, they're not going to be hanging out. Okay.
I don't follow your line of thinking. Can you articulate?
That's not unusual. What I'm saying is that for Thursday night, people still want to go to work on Friday morning, so they're not going to hang out until 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning.
Okay. All right. Motion is made and seconded by Ms. Gibbs. I believe. Clarity has been offered. I'll ask Mr. Witherwax to call the vote.
Well, before that happens, I'd like to say something to Colin.
Yes.
I would just like to say that as someone made a comment, there's been nothing reported on bad behavior, but let's remember that last year there was no operation because they were closed last year.
That's right.
Yes, they were closed last year. So this is good.
Mr. Witherwax, please proceed.
All right, Mr. Bailey.
No.
Thank you. Branch Mohammed.
No.
Thank you, Ms. Collins.
No.
Thank you, Mr. Ellis.
No.
Thank you, Ms. Gibbs.
Yes, calm down, everyone.
Thank you, Mr. Hart.
No.
Thank you, Mr. Puka.
No.
Thank you, Mr. Saunders. Thank you, Mr. Thurton. Thank you, Ms. Tyus.
Yes.
Thank you, Mr. Vicconi.
No.
Thank you, Ms. Weatherspoon. Thank you, Mr. Witherwax. No. Ms. Young.
No.
2 in favor, 11 opposed, 1.
Thank you, Mr. Witherwax. Brings us back to disposing of this item. The motion failed as presented. And does anybody care to make an updated motion to dispose of this application?
I'll make a motion that we accept the application.
I second it.
Mr. Puka, can I just ask that we, with an amendment to update the application with a security plan and their backyard plan?
Of course, of course.
Yes.
Got it. Ms. Mohammed, is that fine with you?
Yes.
All right, thank you. So the motion is made to support the application as presented with updates for their security plan and their rear yard seating, made by, sorry, I already forgot, Mr. Puka, seconded by Ms. Branch Mohammed. Any questions or comments on the motion? Hearing or seeing none, Mr. Hart, is that a question? Sorry, or is that an old hand?
It's an old hand. Let me take it down.
All right, thank you. Please proceed, Mr. Witherwax.
Sure. Mr. Bailey.
Yes.
Ms. Branch Mohammed.
Yes.
Ms. Collins.
No.
Mr. Ellis.
Yes.
Ms. Gibbs.
Yes.
Mr. Hart.
Yes.
Mr. Puka.
Yes.
Thank you. Mr. Saunders. Sorry, Mr. Saunders. Mr. Thurton. Ms. Tyus.
No.
Thank you. Mr. Vicconi.
Yes.
Thank you. Ms. Weatherspoon.
Yes.
Thank you. Mr. Witherwax, yes. Ms. Young.
Yes.
Thank you. Can I have Mr. Saunders?
That was a yes.
Thank you. Mr. Thurton?
Apologize.
Thank you. No, my bad. 12 in favor, 2 opposed. The motion passes.
Thank you, Mr. Witherwax. Mr. Prasad, again, I just remind you as quickly as you can to send us an updated application with the information requested on the rear yard and your security plan. And we'll see you on the 11th as the full board will hear the recommendations of this committee.
Thank you very much, and I'll do that.
Thank you. Next item is 353 Flatbush. Is there a representative here for them? All right, I guess I will read. Well, I'm going to move ahead. We'll circle back to them. Anyone from 271 Kingston? All right, 634 Dean Street. I think someone was here earlier. 634 Dean Street?
Yes, sorry, that's me.
Awesome. All right. Who's me?
Sophie Cooch for 4 and 20 Blackbirds.
Great. I see applicants being listed on the application as Melissa Elson and Emily Elson.
Yes, that's correct. They're the owners.
All right. And are you in the position to represent this application and make any amendments moving forward?
Yes.
All right. So Miss, I want to say your name one more time. Sophie Cooch, is that correct?
Yeah, that's fine.
All right. Is representing 4 and 20 Blackbirds Incorporating, doing business as 4 and 20 Blackbirds at 634 Dean Street, as a restaurant bar with a wine, beer, and cider license. One table with 1 seat and 1 bar with 10 seats. Maximum interior capacity is 20. Hours of operation presented are 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. Sunday, 8 a.m. to 9 p.m. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, 8 a.m. to 11 p.m. Thursday and Friday, and 9 a.m. to 11 p.m. on Saturday. No outdoor service area indicated. No sound system or live entertainment is presented. And service employees are 1 to 2 at one time per shift. No security measures presented. Residents 0 in the building, 4 units left, right, and rear. No operational changes implemented or planned in the coming year. Do we have photos of your public posting? Let's see.
I don't believe I've sent any, but I can do so tomorrow.
Great. If you wouldn't mind sending that to the board office so we have that as a part of your file.
Yep.
Thank you very much. Any questions or comments on 420 Blackbirds for a renewal for their wine and beer and cider license?
Yes, I have a question. So you're open basically all day and you're not making no music, no sound, or nothing, just serving liquor?
Just beer and wine.
Beer and wine.
Yep. It's a pie shop.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's just, okay.
Yeah. But so, yeah.
It's like desserts,
Yeah.
mostly desserts.
Correct, yeah.
All right. Maybe some savory pies, I'm sure, is mixed in there. Miss Collins, I see your hand.
Yes, was your shop somewhere near the Bawanas at some point?
Yes, we have 2 locations.
Miss Collins, did you hear that? They have 2 locations.
Oh, what's the other one?
That one is on 3rd Avenue in Gowanus, 439 3rd Avenue.
All right, thank you.
Great. And Miss Collins, if you don't mind, if you can lower the hand so I don't call on you needlessly. Any other questions or comments? I don't see any indicators, so I'll ask for a motion from our committee.
I make a motion that the committee supports this renewal application.
Second.
Was that second by Mr. Vacconi? Is that what I heard?
Yes.
Okay.
Could you, Mr. Puccio, did I miss a vote? I just stepped back.
No, we have not missed a vote. But thank you for your enthusiasm. All right. No questions or comments on the motions. I don't see any indications, so I'll have Mr. Witherwax call the vote, please.
All right. This is 4 and 20 Blackbird, 634 Dean Street for Mr. Puka's benefit. Wayne Bailey.
Yes.
Thank you. Gail Branch Muhammad.
Yes.
Thank you. Janet Collins.
No.
Thank you. James Ellis.
Yes.
Thank you. Tamika Gibbs. Thank you. Oliver Hart.
He made a comment that he might have had to step away, so he might have missed this vote, but we'll check
That's
back.
fine. Robert Puka.
Yes.
Thank you. Brian Saunders.
Yes.
Thank you. Mark Thurton.
Yes.
Thank you. Ethel Thomas.
Yes.
Thank you. Gib Vacconi.
Yes.
Thank you. Ursula Witherspoon.
Yes.
Thank you. Robert Witherwax. Yes. Deborah Young.
Yes.
Thank you. The motion passes. Oops. 12 in favor with 1 opposed.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. And again, the 11th will be our full board meeting, and we will present our recommendation to them. You are welcome to leave, but if you're enthralled with what business we're conducting here, you're welcome to stay.
Okay. Thank you very much. Have a good night.
Does that go for the rest of us?
If
Thank you.
I'm acknowledging to Ms. Cataldo, I still haven't received that email.
And I just resent that twice to the email that you sent me.
Yeah, I'm checking my filters. But all right, let me just move ahead and we'll still circle back.
Check your junk also.
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you, Mr. Thurton.
Check your junk mail also, just in case.
Yep, I'm looking. I was trying. Trying to work off of 2 computers.
I just copy and paste the email that you sent. I sent that twice to the same email.
Okay.
I also don't have an email at the district office with the file.
All right. Anyway.
Okay, I mean, they're right here. I just scanned them. I just sent them to you. They're right here.
All right. Well, it might just be taking a minute to filter through. We'll still keep an eye on it.
Okay.
All right. Now, 564 Grand Avenue is our next application. I saw Maritza. Hi, there's Maritza. How are you?
Hi. Good.
Good. Let me find your application. 2 cents mission. Is this it? Sorry, I'm trying to. There it is. All right. So Maritza, and help me out. Abreu, is that how you say it?
Abreu.
Abreu. Awesome. Thank you. Is here representing Puerto Viejo Restaurant Corporation, doing business as Puerto Viejo Dominican Bistro at 564 Grand Avenue. Been in business. Oh, you're going to make me do math, but I'll just do what you wrote. Since 1986. So what is that? 35 years?
35.
Yeah. All right. As a restaurant and bar with wine, beer, and cider only, right? No alcohol?
Correct.
No liquor. 9 tables with seating of 2 to 10. Bar with 1 bar with 5 seats, maximum capacity of 75. Hours of operation presented 7 a.m. to 9 p.m. Sunday, 10 a.m. to 1 a.m. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. No outdoor space indicated. No outdoor space. Sound system. You have any sound system?
Just background music.
All right. It's not
Little
indicated.
speakers inside.
It's not indicated on your application. Now, how many speakers do you have, and what kind of system are you?
I think we have 2 or 3 small speakers,
Okay. All right.
like the boss systems.
Okay. And no live entertainment is offered.
No.
7 staff members, 0 security personnel, but there is security cameras on the premises. 4 residences in the building, 0 left, right, and rear. No presented operational changes or plans for operational changes outside of COVID precautions. Any questions or comments from any of our community or committee members on this application?
Thank you.
I agree, Tamika.
Oh yeah. Can we make
Excellent.
a
Looks
motion?
like we're hearing some great testimony.
I'd like to say something. Congratulations on your 35 years, and I move to support this motion. And anybody ready to second?
I second that motion.
Thank you.
Motion made by Mr. Saunders, second by Ms. Gibbs. Any questions to the motion? All right, I'll ask Mr. Witherwax to do what he does so well.
Mr. Bailey.
Yes.
Thank you. French Mohammed.
Yes, yes.
Thank you. Thank you. Ms. Collins.
Yes.
Thank you. Mr. Ellis.
Yes.
Thank you. Ms. Gibbs.
Yes.
Thank you, Mr. Hart. Mr. Puka. Thank you, Mr. Saunders.
Yes.
Thank you, Mr. Thurton.
Yes.
Thank you, Ms. Tyus.
Yes.
Thank you, Mr. Vicconi.
Yes.
Thank you, Ms. Witherspoon.
Yes. La
Thank you.
comida es muy bueno.
Gracias. Mr. Witherwax, yes. Ms. Young.
Yes.
Thank you. The motion passes 13 in favor. No opposition, no abstentions.
All right.
I just
Well,
wanted to say it's been a really challenging year, but the community has been nothing but so supporting and wonderful. So on behalf of my family and I, thank you so much.
excellent. Thank you, Ms. Abreu. And we'll also remind you that Mr. Vicconi has been our liaison with the employment program with local people. If you are interested, please just indicate to him, and you can do it on the chat, and he will add your name to the list of potential people participating in the employment program.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you. All right, moving on to the last, not last, but close. Renewal for 658 Note Street. Hey, thank you for waiting and your patience. We eventually would get to you. All right, let me find your paperwork. Nostrum Pub renewal. There it is. All right, and so we have Mitch here, right?
Yes.
All right, Mitch Polo
How's
is the
everyone
applicant.
doing?
Great. Mitch Polo is the applicant presenting for 658 Nostrand Avenue Pub Corp., doing business as Nostrand Avenue Pub, in business at 658 Nostrand Avenue for 7.5 years as a restaurant bar with a full license for liquor, wine, beer, and cider. 8 tables with 32 seats, 1 bar with 18 seats, maximum capacity 79.
That's a mistake on my part. It's 74.
All right.
That was a write-up.
Okay. Business hours presented are 1 p.m. to 4 a.m. on Sunday, 3 p.m. to 4 a.m. Monday through Friday, and 1 p.m. to 4 a.m. on Saturday. Sealed insulated walls and ceiling for noise attenuation purposes. There is an outdoor service area of a patio, 20 feet by 40 feet with 8 tables and 32 seats. Maximum capacity in the rear yard space is 40. Hours of operations, close the rear yard space down at midnight, 7 days a week. Noise attenuation for the patio includes additional fencing, tree, canopies, and enclosed yard with walls. Question, Mitch, any speakers in that rear yard?
No.
All right. Sound system includes 4 indoor speakers, 80 watts each. No live entertainment presented. 4 service employees. Security measures includes a manager on duty at all times. With 0 residents in the building, 4 left, right, and rear. And operational changes presented, none other than COVID procedures, and no other operational changes predicted. Any questions or comments on the renewal of Nostrand Avenue Pub as presented?
I'm sorry to interrupt again. I am really sorry, but
Yes, ma'am. I just got it, Ms. Cataldo. So we'll circle back to you.
Okay, because it
All
says
right.
that the host of this email does not exist. I just received the email back 3 times.
Okay. Well, I got it now.
Okay, I don't know. I don't know how, but I
All
got.
right.
I even took a screenshot of the mail back.
Okay.
And
Well, we're good now. So we'll circle back to you as soon as we wrap up this.
All right. Thank you so much.
All
Thank
right.
you.
Any other questions or comments pertaining to Nostrand Avenue Pub's renewal application? I'll allow, Mr. Thurton, do you have your normal questions for Mr. Polo?
Thank you, James. Yes, I did raise my hand. Yes, question has been addressed before. Are you guys going to participate in the association and with the Nostrand Avenue Merchants Association?
Yeah, I'm absolutely interested. I think you and I had like a brief conversation a couple of months back. And I don't know, we never connected after that, but yeah.
I'm gonna borrow owners over and they'll touch base with you so that you can participate.
Okay.
We went there, left information there actually several times.
Really? Yeah, I mean, sometimes it's best. I believe that we spoke though, and I gave my I think I told someone to email me stuff, and I never received it. It's the best way to get in touch with me. Things get lost in the shuffle.
Can you drop it in the chat before you leave?
Absolutely.
All right, awesome. Thank you.
Thank you. Hello, Celine. I saw you're there. Mr. Vicconi, do you want to check in with Mitch on the employment program? Mitch, do you want to be included in that listing?
Yeah, I'm interested in that as well. I mean, yeah, I'll be reopening in a couple. I've been closed for 4 months, but I'll be hiring people shortly, hopefully.
Wonderful. All right. Great. Any other questions or comments? Mr. Thurton? Oh, go ahead.
I'm getting a little bit behind now in keeping up with all of this. Is this?
Nostrand Avenue Pub.
Okay, got it. Thank you.
You're welcome. All right. Mr. Thurton, you still have your hand up. Is that for? Nope. Okay. Great. Any other questions or comments? I don't see any indicators, so I'll ask for a motion, please.
I make a motion to accept the application.
I second that motion, Tamika Gibbs.
All right. I heard a first by Ms. Mohammed and a second by Ms. Gibbs. This is the first voice I heard.
Yeah.
All right. Any questions to the motion? All right. Well, Mr. Witherwax, please call the vote.
Mr. Bailey. He was just here. Come back. Ms. Branch Mohammed. She was just here.
No.
Ms. Collins.
It's here. Yes, Rob. Can you hear me?
Thank you, Gail. I can hear you now. Excellent. Thank you. Janet Collins.
Yes.
Thank you. Mr. Ellis.
Yes.
Thank you. Mr. Gibbs.
Yes.
Thank you. Mr. Hart.
Yes.
Thank you. Mr. Puka. Thank you. Mr. Saunders. Thank you. Mr. Thurton.
Yes. Yes.
Thank you. Ms. Tyus.
Mr. Cox.
Yes.
Thank you. Mr. Vicconi. Thank you. Ms. Witherspoon.
Yes.
Thank you. Mr. Witherwax, yes. Ms. Young. Thank you. Mr. Bailey is a yes.
Yes.
Gotcha.
Yes.
Motion passes 13 in favor unanimously.
Wonderful. Thank you, Mitch. We have the next full board meeting is the 11th, and so we'll expect someone to be a part of that WebEx, and that information will be obtainable from the board office.
Okay, thank you, everyone.
Thank you. All right, circling back to my agenda. Let's go ahead and review Cataldo's now that I have an application. So let me read that out for everybody. And thank you, Cecilia, for putting that together so quickly. All right, so.
I tried.
So Ms. Cataldo is here representing Cataldo 54 Inc. Is that right?
Yes. Yes.
Doing business as Cataldo's Restaurant at 554 Vanderbilt Avenue. Been in business for 12 years. As a restaurant with a wine, beer, and cider license, 14 tables, 4 seats. I'm assuming at each table. And that brings a seating of 40 interior capacity. Hours of operation are 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. 7 days a week. And that is not changed. Outdoor service area known, presented. 4 employees, no security programs mentioned.
No, I'm sorry, that says four servers, but it's 6 employees altogether.
6 total?
Yes.
Okay.
Because the question there is how many employees are serving? So it's 4.
Understood. Yep. Thank you. And we'll 6 employees, but 4 service people. All right. Number of residences, 6 in the building, 10 residences left, right, and rear, and no operational changes presented since the last application or any anticipated other than COVID-19 precautions. Are there any questions or comments to Ms. Cataldo's application for renewal? I guess I will, on behalf of Gibbs Value Efforts, check in if you would be interested in being on the list for working with Bed-Stuy Restoration for employment.
Yes,
Great.
we'll try.
All right. We'll try to get local. Try to get local people jobs.
Exactly. Get busy at the city, definitely hire more people.
Awesome.
Right now,
I hear you. I hear you. Soon. Hopefully, all that'll change. Brian, you had a comment?
Yes, I want to say that I support Cataldo's. I like their family setting. I've gone in and eaten with my family and daughter as well, and I think they're a great family and a great establishment, and I support them.
Thank you for that testimony, Mr. Saunders. Anybody else with a comment or question? All right. Hearing or seeing no indicators of a question or comment, I'll ask for a motion.
I make a motion that we accept the application as presented.
Second.
It sounded like Mr. Vicconi was on the second. Is that confirmable? Yep. All right. Excellent. There's a motion on the floor for Mr. Bailey, seconded by Mr. Vicconi. If there are no questions or comments on the motion, I'll have Mr. Witherwax call the vote.
Wayne Bailey.
Yes.
Thank you. Gail Branchmont.
Yes.
Ed Collins. Thank you.
Abstain.
James Ellis. Oh, abstain?
Yep.
Yes, abstain.
Mr. Ellis is yes.
Thank you. Ms. Gibbs?
Yes.
Thank you. Mr. Hart?
Yes.
Thank you. Mr. Puka? Thank you. Mr. Saunders?
Yes.
Thank you. Mr. Thurton?
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes.
Ms. Vicconi?
Yes.
Thank you. Ms. Weatherspoon?
Yes.
Thank you. Mr. Witherwax, yes. Ms. Young? Thank you. The motion passes 13 in favor, 1 abstention.
Great. Thank you. And thank you again, Ms. Cataldo, for putting that together on such quick
Thank you.
turnaround.
Thank you very much. I wish you the best to everybody.
Okay, Ms. Cataldo.
Thanks. All right. I am going, let's see, we had one other renewal that we have paperwork for Charlene's, 353 Flatbush Avenue. I'm sorry? Oh. Is there anyone from there? If not, I'll just read out the application so we can dispose of it. All right. Charlene's. Principal applicants are Rory Dwyer and Charlene Wellington, presenting a renewal application for GFD 353 LLC, doing business as Charlene's at 353 Flatbush Avenue, in operation since 2009 as a restaurant bar with a liquor, wine, beer, and cider permit. Method of operation includes recorded music and jukebox. Sorry, this might be an old one. Hours of operation are 1 p.m. to 4 a.m. 7 days a week. Sound installation throughout the bar. All staff are required to keep music and sound levels at a low volume, and they have no complaints on record as they present in this application. No outdoor space presented. 8 small speakers behind the bar. No live entertainment. And, that sheet's. No security personnel. Estimated 6 units in the building and 12 units left, right, and rear. No operational changes presented or planned for this application other than COVID-19. Does anybody have any questions or comments on the renewal of Charlene's at 353 Flatbush? Looking for little hands, looking for any indicators. If there are no questions or comments, we'll ask for a motion, please.
Move to support.
Second.
Support by or motion to support by Mr. Witherwax, seconded by Mr. Vicconi. Any questions to this motion?
Is there a representative here from that establishment?
There is no representative, but they did submit their paperwork. All right, Mr. Witherwax, please proceed.
Mr. Bailey.
Yes.
Thank you. Ms. Branch Mohammed.
Yes.
Thank you. Ms. Collins.
No.
Thank you. Mr. Ellis.
Yes.
Thank you. Ms. Gibbs.
Abstain.
Thank you. Mr. Hart.
Yes.
Thank you. Mr. Puka. Back. Mr. Saunders.
Yes.
Thank you. Mr. Thurton.
Yes.
Thank you. Ms. Tyus.
Yes, yes.
Thank you. Mr. Vicconi.
Yes.
Thank you. Ms. Weatherspoon.
Who votes yes?
Yes. Mr. Puka votes yes. Ms. Weatherspoon.
Yes.
Thank you. Mr. Witherwax, yes. Ms. Young.
Yes.
Thank you. Motion passes 12 in favor, 1 opposed, 1 abstention.
Awesome. Thank you very much. That concludes our renewals. If there's someone that's in the audience that's anticipating being heard for a renewal that I didn't call upon, please make a notice now, and then we'll move on to our new applications. Don't see any indicator that I've missed anybody. That was a lot of renewals.
Excuse me, James, what are we going to do about people that did not show up and we don't have paperwork?
So that looks like we have Lincoln Station is one that didn't, and Boof and Bun at 271 Kingston. Yeah, well, why don't we circle back and dispose of those at the end of the meeting? Just so we can go ahead and hear the other people.
No problem.
Here.
No problem.
But we'll certainly figure out what to do as we normally do.
For point of information, Boof and Bun is not up until April, so they were a month early anyway. But Lincoln Station is a March renewal.
Okay. All right. So we are now going to hear a new application from. Let me find it. What's the first one? Sorry. King David Taco, 611 Bergen Street. You have a pretty healthy packet. Let me get this going here. All right, is that Solomon?
Yeah, Solomon. Hi, it's Liz, and this is my husband, Nate Dwyer.
Hi.
Hi, Liz and Nate, Mr. And this is Solomon Dwyer. All right, sorry. I'm waiting for this Dropbox to load the file.
We also have sorry about it being big. I got it at 5 megabytes. Our operations manager, Annie Kriya, is also on. Just so you know.
Hi there. Thank you for announcing everyone. Let me just funnel through this to find the right page so I can read from it.
Are you looking for the questionnaire?
Yeah.
That way, I did send it separately because I was a little bit unclear on if it needed to be in the same PDF, but I did send it. I don't know if someone combined it for me.
No, I see it. Yep.
Okay.
All right. I'm going to read out the application as presented first, and then we can go for questions and comments based on the supplementary materials that they presented and offered with the application. So Ms. Sullivan and Mr. Dwyer are here presenting an application for a new license of House of Solomon LLC, doing business as King David Tacos at 611 Bergen Street. As a restaurant and bar, seeking a wine, beer, and cider license. So that's no liquor, right?
Correct.
All right. So again, reminding the committee and community, this is wine, beer, and cider. 2 indoor service area includes 2 tables or counters with 7 stools, 1 bar area with no seating. Maximum interior capacity is 7. Hours of operation, 6 a.m. to 10 p.m., presented 7 days a week. Noise attenuation measures are, it just says very small and enclosed. I'm assuming it's not going to create that much noise.
Yeah. The
All
inside.
right.
Yeah. Very
There
slim.
is a outdoor service area of a patio or deck. Measurements presented are 16 feet by 54 feet with 10 tables with 4 to 6 seats at each table. So that's maximum capacity of 50 is being presented. Hours of operation for this exterior space is 6 a.m. to 10 p.m. Speakers include outside speakers. We might request that those be removed. Would you be fine? You're moving forward. You'd be fine without those speakers then?
Yeah, I mean, this is our first community board meeting. I don't know exactly. I've heard obviously on the other ones that that's not something y'all typically approve. I don't know if it makes a difference that it's behind property lines and that it's just background music. From what I hear, that doesn't make a difference. So you guys tell me, I guess, what's par for the course. So
I think moving forward, we would probably make it recommendations based on the removal of outdoor speakers of any kind in any place.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, I was just going to ask curiosity how certain locations end up attaining outdoor speakers.
At all in this community board? I don't think so.
No.
I don't think it happens.
Okay.
It's not, there's stuff that it might slip through the cracks. There might be an instance where the committee heard the application and that line of questioning didn't come into play, and so it just happened. But as you see, once we do validate and verify, even in renewals, we do ask that, outdoor speakers be removed from any of the programming.
Okay.
Yep. Okay. Moving on, the staffing and security includes 2 service employees. They did indicate on this application they would be interested in the CB8 hiring program. No security personnel, but security cameras are employed and a locked gate for vehicle area. No residences in the building. 1 resident, left, right, or rear. I guess there's a mixed-use building next door, so there's residences in there.
Yep, just one. Just one. On.
Oh, just 1 apartment?
Yep.
How unique.
Yes. Here's the whole building.
I am going to try now and just kind of review the package that you sent so we can see some of the plans. If anybody at this point, while I review, has any questions or comments for the application, please make some indicator now and we will move through those.
Once again, the indoor capacity?
7, I believe, is what they have for indoor.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Any other questions or comments?
Yeah, this is Wayne.
Hi, Wayne.
Hi. I'm just slightly confused. Are you related to the King David Tacos?
Yep, that's us. The cart in Prospect Park and the grab and go tacos.
Right. For some reason, I thought that those were out of Texas or someplace.
I'm from Austin, Texas originally, but I've lived 15 years. He's been here almost 20. People often think we're from Austin, but just I'm from Austin. The tortillas are from Austin, but we are a fully Brooklyn-founded company. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I eat your tacos at Hungry Ghost, so I'm just trying to find out where everybody's at.
Yeah, that's us.
Awesome. Any other questions or comments?
Yeah, hi. My name is Natalie Bear, and I've got some feedback, but I'm a longtime KDC supporter, and I live in the neighborhood. My family and I are very excited about the prospect of this opening. So just wanted to say my support.
Thank you for sharing that testimony. I see a hand by Ms. Collins.
Sorry, that's an old hand. Sorry.
All right. Wanted to make sure I'm recognizing everybody. I don't see any other comments or indicators of questions. So I'm just looking at I'm trying to find the schematic for the rear yard space.
I don't know. I assume we have the same PDF, but it is, sorry, on page, no, hold on. Page Sorry, the PDFs get smaller and bigger. Is that page 12? It's page 12, I think.
Okay, great. That helps.
Yeah.
It
Oh,
yeah,
there
it's
we
from
go.
above, yeah. Or it's 11, it looks, or 10, sorry, my PDF is, all the pages are different sizes, so.
So I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 tables indicated with 4
Yep,
seats.
yep. Mm-hmm.
All right, so that would be seating of 36.
Yeah, just gave it a little bit of flexibility, because I think, you know, we might have picnic benches, which would be 6 seats. But that's the general spacing that would allow for that many tables.
Right. Can you talk to us about the materials of everything in the rear yard, the grounds, any sound dampening, any what the materials of the tables?
So there is going to be, it's a carport, but it's just a nice simple white metal structure that's going to cover everything from the to-go window and back. So that will keep the sound in from above. Obviously, there's a wall. If you're facing the building, the patio is on the right from Bergen, or if you're on Bergen, the patio is on the right. So you have the wall of the building on the left. We are going to be putting, for now, large planters along the right side of the patio that actually goes down the middle of the full outdoor space, because the right side is the driveway for our vehicles to get to the back parking area. So those are going to provide some sound dampening to the right. And in the back, there is going to be a fence that encloses that space more. So right now, that's what's planned for the area. And the ground is currently, and it will stay the concrete that was poured there. And the materials, yes, for the materials of the tables too. Yep, right. General wood and metal were a pretty like pared back brand. We'll be going with something with pretty simple but sturdy. So that's why we're thinking picnic benches, maybe some of the light aluminum chairs. I think
You might be muted.
I think.
Sorry, remind us again of the proximity to residences near you. I think you said one residence.
Yep. So to the right, well, again, if you're facing the building on Bergen, actually to the left is one residence that butts up right next to ours, and it is he's a metal worker. The downstairs is actually his studio, and he lives upstairs. Otherwise, it's all industrial, commercial.
Great, thank you. I will also share, as part of their package, they've submitted letters of support from the Prospect Park Alliance. I guess they've been an active vendor with Prospect Park for a couple of years now. Well, since 2017. So,
yep.
And then, as we already heard from Miss Bear earlier, there was a letter of support from her, and it looks like a letter of support from a neighbor at Pacific Street. And yep, that's all part of the package. So I just wanted to share all that out too. Any other questions or comments from community members or committee members? And if not, we can move forward. Mr. Vicconi.
Hi, I'm sorry to be thick, but I don't have an easy time matching up the floor plan to the elevations and the renderings that are part of this.
Yes.
Part of this package. Can you? Is it possible for you to just walk us through this floor plan? I'm looking at this, and I'm not even clear what side is Bergen Street.
Okay, so if you are on.
I'm on page 9.
Yep. All right, page 9. The left side of the page is Bergen Street.
Okay, so this is labeled first floor finished plan, and the next one is also labeled, page 10 is also labeled first floor finished plan.
So, actually, I guess that was, these are the for construction. That's interesting, though. That is the second floor for page 10.
Okay, so it's the second floor.
Yeah,
right.
And that's just offices. That's not seating for customers, but this is, so it's a very large building, and we only are doing a very small portion of it for our grab and go retail. So a lot of the floor plan you see is used for our headquarters.
I see. So you're going to occupy the whole space, but it's only the first floor that's going to have food service.
Correct.
Okay. And which of what's your are you serving inside of any of this location?
We are serving, but everything we do is grab and go breakfast tacos. As someone was mentioning earlier, we wholesale to many coffee shops and cafes around the city in Manhattan and Brooklyn, and then we serve our own out of our own cart locations. So everything is made daily in that kitchen, the back. If you're on page 9, the back half or back, 2/3 of the entire floor.
Right.
So we make it there, and then it's basically packaged, and then we will be serving it grab and go style from that front retail area.
Okay, and there's that, right. So you have a window from the front you'll serve from, and also from this window that's labeled Sidewalk Cafe on the plan?
The only window we're going to be serving from is the one on the Sidewalk Cafe side. There's a to-go, and I apologize, these plans were made, this is, I think, from like November, right? And so things have been fine-tuned and maybe a little bit more clear on the plans that are on site now versus in PDF. But the to-go window is just, it's not on Bergen. You're actually going to kind of walk onto the property to access the to-go window from that side.
Yeah, that one I see from the rendering. I just had a difficult time figuring out the rest of it.
Yeah.
So that part in the middle, kind of to the left of where your door is that like a loading bay?
Yes, on that is the loading bay where our vans will drive in to pick up the tacos every day.
Okay, gotcha. All right. And are you occupying this whole building?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. And do you own this building?
No.
Okay. All right. Well, look, I think this is a great business to have on this block on this particular block in Psychiatrist, in my view. This is an M11 zone block, and it's great to have a business that's doing food production and selling some of it here. So I like all of this. I just wanted some little guidance here and understanding.
Yes,
Absolutely.
absolutely. I apologize. I cobbled it together from various versions, so it kind of came through a little odd, but we're excited. Very excited.
Very excited. Yeah.
The landlord has another building available. If anyone is looking, there's been some exciting businesses looking at it, but hopefully it won't just be a warehouse, but maybe it will. So.
And how many people will you employ at this location?
We currently employ 20, so we're going to be obviously, hopefully, growing over the next few months.
Great. All right. Well, lots of luck. Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Gib. Any other questions or comments? I don't see any
I make a
indicators.
motion that we support the application.
Mr. Bailey, can I just ask for an amendment for the removal of the outdoor speaker system?
Yes, I'm sorry. Yes.
Mr. Briccone, are you still okay with that?
Yep.
Any other questions to the motion that Mr. Bailey made and seconded by Mr. Briccone? All right, maybe just double check it before I have Mr. Witherwax do. Mr. Witherwax, please call the vote.
Yes.
Gail Branch Mohammed.
Yes.
Thank you. Janet Collins.
Yes.
Thank you. James.
Yes.
Thank you. Gibbs.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. Brian Saunders.
Yes.
Thank you. Mark Thurton.
Yes.
Thank you. Ethel Tyus.
Yes.
Skip Vacone?
Yes.
Thank you. Yrsa Witherspoon?
Yes.
Thank you. Robert Witherwax, yes. Deborah Young?
Yes.
Thank you, Ms. Young. Is Mr. Hart with us still? Perhaps no. 13 in favor, no opposition, no abstention. Motion passes.
Thank you, Mr. Witherwax.
Thank you.
And to Liz and Nate, sorry, I was trying to go back to the application. Yours was easy. It was on the screen. So we're excited for you. I think this is an exciting opportunity to see one of our little local businesses grow and expand and make a permanent home in our neighborhood. So best of luck to you guys in your endeavor.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you very much.
We are
And
very
reminding you that March 11th will be the full board meeting. This application will be presented to the full board for their recommendation.
awesome.
Fantastic.
We look forward to it.
All right. Moving swiftly along to 727 Vanderbilt. Who do we have from there? I think it was Catherine.
627, yeah.
Oh, did I say that wrong? What did I say? 627 Vanderbilt. Did I say 727?
You did. And I don't know where that is, but if it's nice, we'll take a look.
You'll go there too? No, I guess I saw the number 7 restaurant, and maybe that just preemptively started the conversation. Anyway, can you guys just introduce yourself before we jump in?
Yeah, I'm Catherine. I am the person who's been sitting here. Here's Tyler, my husband, who's the chef and owner of the restaurant. He's one of the 2 applicants that is listed on the paperwork as well.
Can you give us your last name?
My last name is Pangaro, and Tyler's is Cord.
All right, and who is the other principal applicant? It looks like Ian or Ian Sugarman.
Ian Sugarman, yeah, he's a friend partner, but he's not involved in operations because he lives in Los Angeles.
Okay.
And
Anyway,
China.
All right, so Ms. Pangaro and Mr. Cord are the operations representatives here for Number 7 Restaurant LLC, doing business as Number 7 Restaurant at 627 Vanderbilt Avenue. Remind us the cross street.
It's between St. Mark's and Prospect.
Right, and for the benefit of those, I believe this is the former bar space.
It's the part adjacent to it.
Like the lounge side of it.
The lounge side of Soda Bar's older space. Gotcha. Thank you.
The
All
GAD,
right.
also one of our GM, Justin Skirty, is also here.
Okay, great. Hi, Justin. Okay, so the restaurant bar is seeking, and this doesn't indicate it on your license, but what type of license are you seeking?
A full.
A full liquor?
Yeah.
Like.
All right.
Like.
Light?
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, okay, anyway, moving along. So a full license, liquor, wine, beer, cider, 5 tables, interior, 2 to 6 per table, 30 max interior, 1 bar with 12 seats. Oh, so 30 max seated, and then 12 at the bar for a total of 42.
Yes.
Proposed hours of operation is 12 p.m. to 11 p.m. on Sunday, closed on Monday, 5 p. to 1 a.m., Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, 5 p. to 2 a.m. on Friday, and 12 p. to 2 a.m. on Saturday. This application is also inclusive of a patio space of 18 feet by 19 feet with 5 tables and 2 to 3 seats per table, but a capacity of 15.
Meeting objectives are clear. Meeting content.
Wait, is that Miss Witherspoon? Sorry. There you go. Okay. The outdoor service area would be open till 10 p.m. on Sunday, 11 p.m. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, midnight Friday, Saturday.
Correct.
Sound speaker includes a Sonos system, cloud-based music with 2 small interior speakers and 1 large inside speaker.
It's just a larger size. It's the same kind of wattage.
Gotcha. And no live entertainment is presented. Per shift, it would be approximately 7 employees. There is interest in participating in our local hiring program, as indicated on the application. There are 2 residences within the building, and 2 to the left, 2 to the right, and 0 in the rear. Okie doke. Let's go back to the package. All right.
And one thing I'm not sure if it's clear on this paperwork, we're what's called a removal, because we're actually currently in operation, but we're trying to move our location because our lease is ending.
So for our benefit, I mean, for our understanding, does that, your license doesn't carry with you though? You have to apply for a new license for this location?
No, it does. It's considered, they call it a removal, but it's basically a transfer from one location to another. So as far as I know, based on what our lawyer,
We just renewed our liquor license at our previous location.
in November, yeah. But from what I understand, the serial number will stay the same. There's no new application in terms of them. We just present all the, it's like not all the same paperwork as when you do a brand new application. There's just like some overlap.
Yeah, the license pertains to the parties, and that stays. So as long as the parties don't change, as long as the location changes, you don't have to do a full-blown new application. But since the parties are the same and it's just the location changing, it's kind of this lesser threshold. But yeah, we have to approach it as a new license to our district for our purposes.
Right.
But yeah, you two are fine.
Yeah, just so you have an understanding of us as an operation, because we've been around for a minute.
How long have you guys been operating at your previous space?
14 years. Our lease was 15 years. It's up this year. So it's like just shy of 14 years. It took us almost a year to get it built.
We opened in 2008.
Wow, great. Okay. And where was the other previous location?
It's in Fort Greene, located at the intersection of Green Avenue and Fulton.
It's the Lafayette stop on the C train. We're like
Directly
kind of tucked
behind
behind
it. Hidden.
And at number 7 Green Avenue, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's correct.
So you're not going to change. You're not going to become number 627 when you move, are you?
I feel like that could be cute, but
We can vote on it, I guess.
might be confusing though.
So the applicant has also shared with us letters of support from what appears to be a couple neighbors, as well as a couple business neighbors, including R&D Foods, Weather Up, and it looks like a personal letter from a resident in their existing location at 7 Green Avenue, and also another letter of support from a resident of Sterling Place. All right. And were you able to secure any kind of letter from the community board of your previous?
What I was told when I spoke to the board last week, they said that they had spoken to Anthony Carabello, our liquor lawyer, about it, and that was sort of happening between y'all. He had to go out of town unexpectedly, but I will touch base with him tomorrow and can forward that if he was able to grab it.
That's just one of those things that we normally ask, but I just thought I'd check in. It looks like Julia has a comment.
CB2 is operating a very short staff. Like a number of other Brooklyn boards, they don't have a DM. So Carol Ann is a little bit busy, but there were no issues over the course of their 14-year establishment history.
Great. Thank you, Ms. Neal. At this point, I'll open it up to any questions or comments from any of our community members or committee members. We'll go ahead and bang them all out, open it up to everybody so we can expedite.
Yes, I have a question.
Hi, Ms. Collins. Yes.
Hi, are there going to be outdoor speakers, outdoor music anywhere?
No, there's no outdoor speakers. And I realized that when I switched from the renewal paperwork to the new application paperwork, I missed something, which was the noise attenuation measures, which didn't carry over. We do have baffling on the back wall, and we'll have an awning, all intended to sort of stifle just conversation sound. And then within the restaurant, we have these things, they're called speaker isolators. So basically, they absorb any excess vibration. They won't be ever high, but it's just sort of a thing to be extra just in case.
But just to be clear, nothing outdoors.
No, nothing else.
No music's being pumped outside.
No.
Correct. I mean, our door might be open at some point when it's nice out, but we won't have the music cranked. There won't be any speakers angled towards the outside.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Great. Thank you. Awesome. Any other questions or comments from community or committee members? Can you just explain to maybe the materials that you're using for Oh, I see it on your thing. Tables are wooden, chairs are wooden with cushioned seats. What's the flooring of your outdoor space? Patio is brick pavers. Fine.
Yeah.
I'm asking and answering at the same time, so forgive
All right.
me.
Happy to do it.
I'm trying to work off of two different computers. I'm like, one's over here, one's there. All right. I saw a question from or a comment or something from Mr. Vicconi.
Question, yeah, is this, sorry, this doesn't look like it's mentioned on the application, but is this a full liquor application or a beer and wine application?
It's a full.
Okay, so aren't we within 200 feet of the Brotherhood Baptist Church?
We are, and there seemed to be some sort of confusion about how that works. So we had been told that it was the storefront situation wherein it doesn't apply to that license. And given the number of licenses that are all within very, very close range, we kind of assumed that was true. And then I spoke with Julia last week, and it seemed like maybe that wasn't true, but I didn't totally understand how that worked. We thought we would go ahead and apply because we were on the docket for tonight and reach out to the pastor to try and get in touch. None of their phone numbers are in service, and they're not answering any of their like Facebook page messages or answering any emails that we were able to find. So we're sort of not sure what to do next with that, and would await your guidance. But beyond that, we weren't really sure.
Okay, yeah, the issue, so the issue I think has come up, if I'm not mistaken, about whether they are using the full building as a house of worship, which is the bar for whether it's considered a house of worship and subject to the 200-foot rule. I think there was a time when that was not the case and some full liquor licenses were issued. I think sodas was one of them, actually. And then later, somehow that assessment changed, and I think that prevented other full liquor licenses from being issued.
Do you know when that was? Because maybe it's something I can try and research.
Mr. Witherwax is kind of the archivist of the don't know. Okay, so I think the thing to understand is if it's being used, if right now it's being used as a house of worship, which is not the easiest thing to figure out now because of COVID.
Right.
Yeah, my only comment to make would be that when we've encountered this in the past as a committee, that is a determination that is made by the state of New York. It's not something we make.
Sure.
So we have in the past just gone with the benefit of the doubt to the applicant and said, well, if in fact you are permitted, here's how we would vote. But of course, it's all subject to a determination by the state as to whether that is a fully operational church or otherwise. I mean, I don't recall a Brotherhood Baptist conversation, but what's the one on Washington and Sterling, catty corner to Sunshine and Company? I remember we did extensive work on that one.
We measured and measured and measured that.
Yeah, I think there was an issue on Washington as to whether that was really being used. The building was being fully occupied as a house of worship, and I think I think it came down that it was not, and it was not. Yeah, so that was not considered a 200-foot issue.
But we're also, for the record, ready to. If you guys want to just say, like you said before, I mean, number 7, the original that is 14 years old is directly next door to a storefront church, and we figured that out with the state. So if we want to leave it up to the state and you guys want to pass your judgment now, we're
yeah,
we'll do what you guys recommend, I guess.
So okay, I mean, I have no problem for us punting it to the state. That's fine. I just wanted to make sure that everybody was on the same page. That Brotherhood Baptist Church does own that building. They're not a tenant in the building.
Right. Figured that was the case.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't have any record about the conversations. Everything on Soda Bar is about other issues. I don't have anything.
A number of years ago, when Soda did expand from 629 into 627, also Brotherhood contested it with the state, but because Soda had already been grandfathered in and had vested into that space, they were given the license for 627. That's one of the reasons why they weren't able to get a separate bar in that space and people had to walk through the walkway. But Brotherhood did provide the SLA with documentation that the entire building was used for the church purposes and that there were antithetical to what the community was saying, any residences in the building that were used for, financial purposes other than the church.
Gotcha.
Okay, so
Is that
just-
Julia? Do you know what year that was? That they went to soda the second?
Oh God, that was a long time ago. Maybe 2010, 2011. I know Michelle was district manager, and she became DM in 2009. So it was around the time that she was district manager. So probably 2010, 2011, maybe. I have to check the file. I'll be in the office again probably on Thursday.
Yeah.
To find the file.
Cool. Because I know when R&D opened their restaurant before the food store, they didn't have an issue because of the reason that we were thinking it was. But Fawn has a full liquor license, and they opened much more recently than 2011. So that's why I was like, there's so many question marks. Let's just go and talk to you guys and see what's what.
There are a number of establishments that did open with full liquor licenses, but they're on the other side of the street. Vanderbilt Avenue is actually kind of wide. I don't know if it's 200 feet. Mr. Bailey at the time was the one that was our designated measurer. So I don't know if he has any of those records of measurements and stuff. But you're absolutely right. There were about 3 or 4 licenses that had opened up since Soda's expansion into that space. And I know for each and every one of them, Brotherhood had an issue. And, it's understandable because they did provide the paperwork and the documentation to the SLA. But the SLA did actually grant all the licenses. So as far, I don't know if they accepted the paperwork as binding.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's something that I would say for you, let the SLA guide you rather than the community board, since we are advisory. If you are willing to save a couple $1,000s every 2 years on your license, and you want to craft some, beer and wine cocktails instead of having a full license, you can do that. We will not have a problem with that. But it's your business. It's your baby. You would have to get some guidance from the state liquor authority, which is.
I mean, we made it through 14 years, but that full liquor license was I'll be honest, it was part of that, so.
Let Mr. Caraballo earn his money.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, and his thinking was also the same as ours, which was, let's go, we'll talk to you, we see how it goes. Our lease is, of course, contingent upon being approved by you and being approved by the SLA. So if it doesn't happen, we will keep searching for the right space on Vanderbilt.
And that said, we can stay at 7 Green Avenue if we have to. Our landlord there is being really great. It's just.
But it's the end of the lease.
It's the end of the lease, and we'd love to be closer to home.
We live here.
Since we opened 14 years ago, she and I had a child, and we live on Park Place right around the corner. We'd love to be closer to home. So this is not dire. If we have to stay at 7 Green Avenue, we love it there. We've been there for 14 years, but we'd love to come to this neighborhood. But as good a chef as I am, and I'm pretty good, I'd still be much more comfortable financially with a full liquor license.
Yes.
Shall we entertain a motion?
Yeah, I think we did that one to death. Okay, I'll move to support the license as presented.
I offer a second. Ethel Tyus.
Sorry.
You're muted.
Motion made by Mr. Piccone, second by Ms. Tyus. No indications of any questions or comments on the motion. So I'll have Mr. Witherwax call the vote, please.
Hold on, I suddenly closed my. Not that I can't do it from memory, but I like to keep a tally. Wayne Bailey.
Yes.
Thank you. Gail Branch Muhammad.
Yes. Yes.
Thank you. Janet Collins.
Abstain.
Thank you. James Ellis.
Yes.
Thank you. Tamika Gibbs.
Yes.
Thank you. Oliver Hart.
Yes.
Thank you. Robert Puka. Come back around. Brian Saunders.
Yes.
Thank you. Mark Thurton. Thank you. Ethel Tyus.
Yes.
Thank you. Gib Piccone.
Yes.
Thank you. Ms. Witherspoon?
Yes.
Thank you. Robert Witherwax, yes. Deborah Young?
Yes.
Thank you. Mr. Puka, are you with us still? I don't see him on the list. Okay, the motion passes 12 in favor, 1 abstention.
Wonderful. Thank you, Catherine. And we look forward to being host to your establishment in the coming months. And March 11th, again, is the full board meeting. You can receive the link for login details from the board office. We will present our recommendation to the full board.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right. Circling back to the unfinished business. I'm just making a note. So we had 2 agenda items that we did not receive any paperwork for or are not in attendance. Reminding that 409 Lincoln Place is up for renewal. It expires in March. And Leaf and Bun of 271 Kingston is not expiring until April. So with that information, is there anyone prepared to make a motion to dispose of these items? Mr. Witherwax?
Yes, I move to table Boof and Bun till April because their license isn't open till April and give them an opportunity to show up. But I also move separately, if need be, to approve Lincoln Station because it's a beer and wine license and not open that way.
So that's a one combined motion for both items?
Well, if we want to be efficient about it.
Okay. So Mr. Witherwax has made a motion to table Boof and Bun and to approve Lincoln Station based on his comments previously stated. Is there a second?
I'm sorry, question?
Yes, Mr. Thurman.
With Lincoln, is that bear and wine, but it says full on the paperwork here.
Oh. I have them listed as a beer and wine license.
I think they do beer, wine, and liquor.
Let me check the SLA. I don't think so. Restaurant wine, just beer and wine, no liquor.
And that's confirmed by accessing the SLA website?
Yep, their database.
All right. Thanks for that clarity. And thanks, Mark, for flagging that. It did say full on our agenda. According to Mr. Witherwax's research, the SLA database indicates that it's only beer and wine. So
second.
All right. Any other questions or comments to the motion? I don't see any indicators. So just as a reminder for our committee voting committee that the motion is to table Boof and Bun until April and to support the renewal of Lincoln Station's beer and wine license. All right. No other questions, Mr. Witherwax, please call.
Wayne Bailey.
Yes.
Gail Branch Mohammed. Janet Collins.
No.
Thank you. James Ellis.
Abstain.
Thank you. Tamika Gibbs.
Abstain.
Thank you. Oliver Hart.
Yes.
Thank you. Robert Puka.
Yep.
Puka's gone. Brian Saunders. Mark Thurton.
Abstain.
Ethel Tyus. Gib Baconi.
Yes.
Yrsa Witherspoon.
Yes.
Thank you. Robert Witherwax, yes. Deborah Young.
Abstain.
Abstain. And did I get a vote from Gail Branch Mohammed? Let's see here, but I didn't. And Mr. Puka, Ethel Tias, did Ms. Tias have a vote?
Ethel said good night.
Not much of a vote. Then the motion fails. 5 in favor, 2 opposed, 4 abstentions. All right, let's do it again. Somebody make a motion.
Yep, Mr. Witherwax has indicated the motion did not pass, so we needed another motion to dispose of these items. Is anyone in a position or care to make a motion?
Excuse. Oh, I'm sorry. Gail just called me. She said she wanted to vote yes, but she lost her sound.
Thank you. I'll add her, but the motion still fails because now it's a tie.
Okay.
Unless somebody wants to change their vote.
All right, not hearing any corrections or any changes. Anybody prepared to make a separate motion?
I'd like to make a motion that we table both of these to April.
Ms. Collins has a motion made to table both items until April. Anyone care to second or support her motion or offer any amendment?
Could you just please repeat it? I'm sorry.
Ms. Collins made a motion to table both items, which is Lincoln Station and Beef and Bun for the April meeting.
I second that motion. Tamika Gibbs, sorry.
Right. So a motion was to table both items by Ms. Collins, second by Ms. Gibbs. Any questions on this motion? No, seeing or hearing no indicators. Mr. Witherwax.
Wayne Bailey.
No.
Gail Branchmark.
Sorry.
Ms. Witherspoon, do you have a question?
I'm sorry. My computer wasn't working right, so I couldn't hear the motion. I apologize.
No. The motion is to table both until April.
Okay, thank you.
And Mr. Bailey voted no. Ms. Branch Mohammed?
Yes.
Ms. Collins?
Yes.
Give it to him.
Mr. Ellis?
What's Ms. Collins' vote?
I had a yes for Ms. Collins.
Yes.
Thank you. Sorry, I'm also keeping roll. I log my vote as abstain, please.
Thank you. Ms. Gibbs?
Yes.
Thank you. Mr. Hart?
Yes.
Thank you. Mr. Puka is not with us. Mr. Saunders?
Yes.
Thank you. Mr. Thurton? Thank you. Ms. Tias is good night. Mr. Vicconi?
No.
Thank you. Ms. Weatherspoon?
Yes.
Thank you. Mr. Witherwax, no. Ms. Young?
Yes.
Thank you. The motion passes. 8 in favor, 3 opposed, 1 abstention. Julia, you should reach out to Lincoln Station. They will probably need a 30-day waiver.
Ms. Neal, did you hear Mr. Witherwax's comment?
Oh, yes, I'm sorry. I was struggling to get back to WebEx from the minutes I was doing. Okay, but I will say that they have been really silent the entire process of acknowledging the receipt of their 30-day notice receipt, acknowledging the receipt of the email, and also acknowledging whether or not they got my reminder email to send their form. But I will send them an email.
All right. Well, thank you all. I will just offer this up. We are, running a little longer than normal, but we had a very full agenda. So thank everybody for their patience and their commitment to finishing all these items up. I will just kind of open up for any new business or old business that anybody wants to share or that we need to address before we adjourn.
I just want to say to Officer Vidal, thank you for participating. Good to see you, buddy.
Yes, thank you, Officer Vidal. We appreciate your presence. Awesome. Thank you, Mark. And for those who don't know, Mark is also the chair of our public safety committee. So we're happy to have him serve on both of those committees and keeping us all linked together with our police. Okay. I don't see other comments or notes, comments, any announcements or anything shared. All right. Well, I thank you all. I encourage you guys to keep practicing your social distancing and remain safe and healthy. And for those inclined, please take advantage of the vaccination slots that are now open over at Medgar Evers College, which is nearby to us. And I hope that you all have a great evening. So Mr. Weatherwax, I'll look to you for a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
All right. So moved. All right, everybody have a great evening. Thank you.
Okay, good night.
Good night. Oh,
Good
thank you,
night.
James. Good meeting.
Bye.